My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down the entire UFC 316 fight card, giving you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings Fantasy Plays. But before we break down this card, let's look at the spectacular month that June is. Not only is it Pride Month for all of you and Jacob, it is also a 2 pay-per-view month. We have a beautiful 4 weeks ahead of us. We have UFC 316. We have UFC Atlanta, UFC Baku, UFC 317 at the end of the month. This is honestly the best run we've had so far this year. And the reason I mention it, the reason I bring it up, what is so funny?
Well, you were obviously late, and I told people that you were asleep in your chair, and somebody said, Angelo wakes up from a 2-year coma and immediately goes into a premium rant.
It's just about autopilot. And the reason I'm bringing up what a spectacular fight month we have in June is because I'm about to plug the Safety Parlay. Safety Parlay continues to be the beacon of stability. UFC Vegas 107 was one of the most disastrous fight cards anybody has ever seen for any reason ever. We didn't have a main event. There was 4 fights canceled on fight week. But Big Ange still made it happen. 7-1 in the last 8 safety parlays. Yes, Jacob.
That's my fault. I mentioned that in my video, guys. 100% on me. I've literally watched every single card for the last 4 or 5 years since we've been doing this for sure, and a little bit before that. Unfortunately, I was in Indianapolis winning $14,000 on my fucking Indiana Pacers. So fuck you, Angelo, you New York piece of shit.
Everybody,
the Knicks got fucking smacked around. I won $14,000, but I missed the card and it all went to shit, and it's because of me, and I won't let it happen again.
That is on you. What is funny, people were like leaving Knicks trash comments to me. How about your Knicks, Angelo? Who the fuck said I was a Knicks fan? Like,
you're from New York. You're a Knicks fan. You're a piece of shit.
So what?
You're an arrogant piece of shit.
The Nets also play in New York.
How do you eat your pizza?
I fold it like a man.
You're a Knicks fan. There you go.
And what, Nets fans, what? Eat it 2 hands? Anyway, listen. You have these spectacular fight cards coming up. You have this unbelievable bet. There is not a safer bet in this space, period, end of story. 7-1 in the last 8. The only reason it's not 8-0 in the last 8 is because the referee was an asshole at UFC 314. The Safety Parlay is the beacon of stability. And if you go to WeWantPicks.com, you can unlock the Safety Parlay, not just for UFC 316, but UFC Atlanta, UFC Baku, and UFC 317. And it's only $10, not per week, not per event, per month. $10 per month. And that is not just for one single bet. Yes, it's the single greatest bet in this space. But that $10 unlocks everything that we have on the website, including tools like the Fight Simulator. If you've been watching our DraftKings Fantasy, or if you've been watching the Prize Picks videos, you see that I've been using the Fight Simulator to build my Prize Picks entries, and it's been slapping. The Fight Simulator takes every single fight on the fight card, and it simulates them 100,000 times, and then it gives you those outputs. Not only does it give you the outputs of who wins those fights, but it also gives you the details, like how many strikes did the simulator think that this fighter lands on average? How about in wins? How about in losses? And you can take all that data, all that insight, take it to your favorite sportsbook. We also have a tape index. It has been chaos. Chaos has ensued. The ESPN UFC negotiations seemingly...
Oh my God. And he's fighting on this fucking card.
Chaos Williams. Look at that. Chaos with a K. Chaos has ensued because ESPN, seemingly in an act of defiance, has deleted thousands of historical UFC fights from their platform.
And
they do not exist.
I had a fucking panic attack Sunday.
Well, you should have used the tape index.
Well, I was on Fight Pass watching with my VPN, and all of a sudden it literally kicked me out mid-fight as I'm watching a fight and said, please sign in without using a VPN. And I said... Oh, God, no. I said, God, no. That's not a good situation, but I switched servers and it was good to go. So,
well, ESPN was great because it was actually like easy to navigate and worked. They deleted thousands of historical UFC videos. So trying to do tape study was a little tricky. Took us a day to get our ducks.
Use a VPN. You can get any fight with a VPN.
On Fight Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fight Pass is the only place that has literally every actual fight from all of these fighters. They own the IP. Now, when ESPN had access to the fights, UFC hid a lot of them, right? ESPN was the one who bought the rights to that stuff. But now that they
Now
don't
the
have the
VPN.
rights, well, not with the VPN because ESPN doesn't have rights outside of the country. But now I believe they're unlocked. Anyway, the tape index does all that work for you. You're not banging around 39 websites trying to find the fights. You link right to the fight themselves. We also have the brand new DraftKings Optimizer. While optimizers have existed before, the beginner mode has not. It is quite literally an industry first. We know many, many thousands of you are going to watch this video. 12,000 of you, or actually 15, have already watched my single quick pick. 10,000 of you watched Jacob's. Hopefully, we get 20,000 plus views on this video. Not all of you know what DraftKings Fantasy is. Not all of you know how to use an optimizer, but some of you may want to. And so instead of expecting you to understand how everything works, we built it for you. There's a slider up top that says beginner mode. And instead of having you understand numbers and how ownership works, what it did do is ask you logical questions. Who's your most confident favorite? Any underdogs you like? You answer a few of those questions, it'll build DraftKings Fantasy lineups for you. You don't need the app. There is some confusion. I've done such a good job promoting this damn app that some people are saying, do I need the app for premium? You don't need the app. You can use everything that we offer on the website, in a mobile browser, on your desktop. We didn't have an app for years, and you got to use the fight simulator and everything else. We do have an app now. So if you want to download the app, you can download the app. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. It's 100% free. Turn on push notifications. I've sent 2 today. When the safety parlay went up, a bunch of other prop bets went up. The app will tell you when we place bets so that you can go ahead and hop on board if you'd like. UFC.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Because we have I don't know why you wanted to wear the same hat as me, but reach back real quick, and how many little dots are exposed on your hat?
Oh, I have a very small head. I have two plastic things sticking out. I have a tiny head, given my size.
Well,
you only have one?
Yeah, so you don't.
I've got 2.
Head, so.
No, I do have a very small head. Huge cock, small head. Listen, UFC 316 is a pay-per-view. It's going to be a little different. Instead of letting me on my birthday weekend, my birthday is tomorrow on Wednesday, which is why I am drinking during the stream and having some fun.
Wow, this is I didn't realize you were one of those guys.
So celebrate me.
I didn't realize you were one of those guys. I actually was going to mention it because I thought that you were going to be nice and humble about it, and just kind of see how the stream went.
You don't earn a birthday; you just stay alive.
Yeah, but look at me; it's my birthday. Oh.
Well, where I'm going with this is
like the stream. Everyone become Can we get 10 gifted members for Angelo's birthday? Come on, guys! 10 gifted YouTube members for Angelo's birthday.
Hey, it worked. Timmy with the 279. Happy birthday, Angelo. Oh, okay.
I want to see who would.
Oh, and look at that profile picture. This is a wild
that's a second
chat.
donation. He said, loving you, Angelo, harder on this Pride Month.
Oh, thank you, Timmy. I didn't see the other one. We'll get to it. Oh, here it is.
Gifted members.
Loving you, Angelo, harder
for
on this
Angelo's birthday. Can we get 900 gifted members?
Okay, listen. This past Saturday, when your birthday's on a Wednesday, you get to choose. Am I going to be birthday boy on the week before, or the week after? Wife said, what do you want to do for your birthday? I said, the only thing I ever want to do, I want to drink in the backyard.
This big old cock.
I want to play frisbee in the backyard with my male friends.
Where would you put it? If you had a chance to put it anywhere, where would you put it?
Dude, have you ever wet a pillow and then microwaved it? If you use whipped cream instead of water and microwave it, the texture.
Now, bitch, what?
So listen, I had the choice, and I said, you know what? This past Saturday, the UFC Vegas 107 weekend, I said, let's do a little birthday thing for me at the house. Then I'll watch the fights. If I'm sober, I'll do a recap. If I'm not, I won't feel obligated
hold on a second, real quick, too, because before the stream started, you were like, oh, I don't like birthdays. I'm not a birthday guy. So given the opportunity to really shut down the situation, you instead were like, yeah, let's have a little party for me.
All I ever want is no, these are different things. It wasn't a party for me. All I ever want is people at the house so I can drink at home and play frisbee games in the backyard. That is a dream. That's all I want. That's all I want. Well, it's my house and it's my birthday. So that's all I ever want. You were invited.
If you guys don't know how his house is set up, and this has happened a few times.
Lots of mirrors.
Well, he has a TV outside. It's a nice little patio area and stuff. And so there's outdoor seating with the TV. The TV is mounted on this pillar with glass behind the TV, and that's his bedroom right in there. So randomly, like throughout the night, if we're watching fights, Angelo will just like casually walk like he's I don't know why he's naked. Like he's taking a midnight shower. It's like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and he'll like casually be walking across naked, and then he'll be like, "Oops, oh, sorry." And then one time I go to the bathroom, I come back and he's on the bed, just sprawled out like this, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I gotta stretch."
Why were you in my room?
Yeah, I got stretched. No, I'm looking through the windows. I'm sitting there watching the fights. He's got windows, and he literally has. It's like his thing to like. He's like the old
reverse
guys
cuck.
at the.
It's reverse cuck.
He's like the old guys at the locker room that just love to be. You're at that point in your life. It's really, I think, is what it's at. Once you get to a certain age, everyone knows the old guys in locker rooms, public locker rooms, just love fucking being naked. I don't get it, but you get to a certain age, and you just love being naked. And you're at that age now where you just love being naked.
I don't mind it. Listen, where I was going with this whole thing is I had the choice. What weekend am I going to do the thing? And I said, you know what? If I do it at UFC 316, I have to vlog the whole thing, which I enjoy doing, but sometimes it's cumbersome to vlog the whole day. So I said, let's do it the weekend before. We can just enjoy and play Frisbee. And we do have a comment that says, play Frisbee. What the hell? It's called Can Jam, and it's America's game, and it's the best. So I did that last weekend. This weekend, I was hoping, I tried to play this right. I tried to play this like, I'll get to do that on the first weekend. Then the second weekend, UFC 316, I'll basically get 2 weekends out of this whole birthday thing. That's not how that worked out. The wife said, we're going to the water park. So we're going to the water park all weekend. So not a normal Fight Foods vlog, and I won't be able to watch the pay-per-view at home. We rented the bigger room in the hotel so that I can watch fights at night and not bother everybody and keep them up. So I will be at the water park watching fights. If you want to send some mail, I'll read it in a bathing suit. We want pics. P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas 75078. If the mail doesn't make the cut for UFC 316, UFC 317 is right after that. And UFC 317 is in Las Vegas. I will be there. The wife and I will be in Las Vegas. We will actually not be watching UFC 317. We're going to Vegas. We're flying in on a Thursday. We're going to do the weigh-ins. We'll do the press conference. We'll do the UFC X, get some meals, hang out. We are flying back home Saturday morning. So I am going to watch the fights at home, but we'll be in Las Vegas. If I bump into you, if you come up to me at UFC X, I'll buy you a drink. I bought a bunch of you some drinks last year. We appreciate all the support, whether you're watching, a premium member, what have you. So if you see me, say hi. Don't fucking embarrass me in front of my wife. She is already mean. She doesn't need any more fuel. Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
The first of all, which reminded me because you said you bought people drinks, which is true. A lot of you people out there, I don't know what the fuck your issue is, because in the chat right now, I would say it's 80% me, 20% Angelo, right? I'm on the live stream Saturday. I'm the fun one. I'm the one that if you see out in public, it's like, it's fun. Like a lot of people came up to me in Tampa, took pictures. I'm the fun one, okay? But for some fucking reason, when we were at 303 and I'm with Angelo, I don't know how many people came up and were like, Angelo, can I get a picture, Angelo? Oh, Jacob,
I don't think they could see you. I think they couldn't see you.
That was literally what it was. Angelo. Oh, it was cool. Oh my God, Angelo, I love it. Oh, Jacob, hey, Angelo. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm the fucking fun one here. That literally happened like 6 or 7 times. Obviously, some people came up and were like, Jacob, Angelo, like excited for both of us. But how many times did that happen where people were like, Angelo, and I'm sitting there like,
I think I'm just quite literally easier to spot because I'm a big dude. I honestly think it did happen a few times. It wasn't to that effect where it was like, oh, Jacob, but it was Angelo.
No, it literally was. It literally happened. Literally. It was never like, oh, Jacob, like, oh, there you are. It was like, oh, Jacob, Angelo, There was probably 5 times that people took pictures with you and just were like, hey, Jacob. And then just fucking, it's like, what is going on? That's why when I went to Tampa, I was like, thank God, like I was the man in Tampa.
I don't have this
like there was people
loser.
coming up. Dude, when I was sitting in my seats in Tampa, there was people like running down the aisle. Salamander, can I get a picture? I'm like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. And by the way, if you're going to be in Atlanta, I'm going to be in Atlanta. And I might have a girl thing with me, so make sure you guys go all out. I want an autograph.
Yes.
I want a picture. Oh, my God. You make sure you make a fucking scene if you see me in Atlanta. I'll be in Atlanta. So,
will this be the first? Last time you went to fights with these female
Apex.
people came up to you, but it was Apex. So this will be the first full stage.
People.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody that was like talking to me, and then she told me every time I went to the bathroom, he would start talking to her. So what's going on here? He seemed like a nice guy. He was sitting behind us, but it's like not saying any conversation. I go to the bathroom, I come back, and he's like, sits back in his seat. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I don't blame the guy.
I mean, dude was like, if he can, I can. That's quite literally what runs through their head.
We're going to say in Atlanta too. They're going to be like, what's going on? How did? Damn, premium's really going well.
How much money does?
Yeah, premium's really going well. Holy shit!
Just trying to look at your crotch. Just like, what is he working with?
You can feel the steam heat coming off that thing.
Because it's rotting. Because it's rotting from not being used a compost pile. Listen, I'll be at.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, FaceTime her and ask her if you use it. No, yeah, she goes to another school. Guys, I'll be at 317. Say hi. Don't embarrass me in front of my wife. For the love of God. You ready to break down this card, Jacob? Did my voice crack? Listen, I'm gonna have to piss during this stream. I'm gonna get after it. Tomorrow's my birthday, which means
my God, guys, fucking everybody in the chat right now, in the comments, first of all, like the stream right now for the love of God. If there's one thing that I do that Angelo doesn't do, that doesn't make any sense, he's always pitching the premium. I always ask you to like the videos. My videos always get thousands of likes. If you guys, for his birthday, can like the video, leave a comment in the live chat right now, wish him happy birthday, or leave a comment on the fucking video, wish him happy birthday. Otherwise, this guy's going to keep fucking talking about it. Let's get it out of the way, everyone.
And you're right. I don't know. I don't understand the content side, so I'm not great at my call to action is go to the website. It's never anything with the video itself. So let's go ahead and break down this card. Not entirely unlike UFC Vegas 107. UFC 316 has had a couple of switcherinos as well. I think we have 3 brand new fights on this card, or at least matchups. This fight is an entirely new fight. Neither one of.
Are you gonna say thank you? Look at everyone wishing happy birthday.
I read it when I'm done talking. I do see it flooding in. Thank you all very much. Genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. Genuinely. It is, as a father, little off tangent here. As a father, when you have your birthday, it is the coolest part about all of it is how excited the kids get. And it's just some fucking.
Oh my God, he's almost
shittily drawn
dead,
picture.
And we can get the cash.
Yeah. 1 year closer.
1 year closer to the cash.
It's always just some like haphazardly folded trash, whatever. But like, is tomorrow your birthday? They're very excited. They're just excited because they know their birthdays are exciting. And they think ours is.
Anything like that?
Well, tomorrow's my birthday. We'll find out fucking tomorrow. I had
because
cake.
I know they gave. I think 1 year they got me cakes and balloon or something like that. So
yes, they did. They took care of you on your birthday. I do remember that. And didn't they get you sorry the lock of the week lost or something like that? Or was it a congratulations on the streak?
That was like a Tiffany thing. I didn't really appreciate that. It was like a like a sorry for your loss type thing. I can't remember what the I can't remember why that was.
I don't.
I
Yeah,
just remember showing up and Tiffany's got this big old smile on her face, very proud of herself, very proud of herself. And I honestly, it's never even crossed my mind to lay hands on a woman.
She'd fuck you up.
In that moment, I'm going to snap that bitch's nose in half.
She would fuck you up. She is the whole I'll black out. Like that whole fake narrative.
See red.
She actually
She sees red 24/7. I know that.
Well, listen, this is a brand new.
Seen the look she gave me when I had I left my own Celsius in your fridge that was there for 3 weeks, and I said, "Can I have this Celsius?" And she goes, "Yeah, you can have it." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's my Celsius." She goes, "I don't think so." I was like, "I know it's my Celsius." She goes, "Yeah, well, regardless, like you can have it." And I looked at her, I said, "I'm taking this Celsius." And she was like, "All right, take the Celsius." But in her eyes, it was like, "I fucking dare you to take that Celsius."
It's still there. Or did you take
30 minutes in and still haven't got to the picks. Tony Rolex, suck my fucking taint, you dumb bitch.
Also,
Angelo's
we're 19 minutes in.
Angelo's got a video out with all his picks. I got a video out. We're having a good time. It's a live stream. It's Angelo's birthday. Get a friend for once.
Tony. You know what? He's not a Tony, and he's not a Rolex.
I fucking rocked Crazy
Anthony Cassio from now on.
Anthony Cassio.
Anthony Fossil. Cassios are actually sweet again.
You can't
Anthony
Fossil.
Fossil.
Nice yeah, Fossils.
Yeah, Anthony Fossil.
Man, if you didn't have a Fossil watch in 8th grade with some K-Swisses, you were a fucking loser. I know
I
that.
wear my K-Swiss.
I fucking smoke Crazy Kev on Twitter, though. I made a post just about Minty because everyone knows that Minty had that little flub, and she's made fun of herself now, and it's actually no big deal. But people were like trying to say that she had doesn't make her own bets and stuff. So I just made a post like, I talk to Minty all the time. Like, we talk about bets. I promise you, she makes her own bets. And Crazy Kev responded with a laughing emoji. I said, "The fuck you laughing at, Goofy?" And he said, "Oh, it's not that serious, bro." And I said, "Once you find a friend, you'll realize why I made a post to defend mine. You dumb bitch." And I've sat here. You were trashing the guy. I actually defended the guy last time. You were
I can't
trashing
stand
him.
that fucking
I say he's a fucking
dork.
weirdo, but I respect the hustle. Now it's fuck that little twerp.
Oh, he was DMing one. I'm not going to say true names. He was DMing one of my friends. Like, can I get an interview? Can I interview? And I was like, this kid sucks. Don't do it. And it was all and that was just me being a hater. My bad, dude. It all came from, sometimes I just talk. Okay. I just say things. And I referenced how he got exposed for saying weird shit to girls. He didn't touch anybody. He was just fucking weird. Nothing arrestable, just weird.
I don't think he's ever been close to it.
Physically close enough to touch
I honestly, there's no chance. There's no chance he's felt the warmth of a woman. There literally is not I would bet any amount of money.
He was watching this stream.
If he could prove somehow, like if a girl could come forward and say, like he laid it down, I don't think there's a chance in hell. Dude.
He was watching this stream when I made the pillow microwave joke. It was like, no, it's not water. He knows all the ingredients for a perfect microwaved pillow. So I just said some shit. I was like, isn't that the dude? Actually, it was when the narrative was out that Marvin Vittori's shoulder was hurt. And I heard it was hurt. And I was like, I heard this from somebody. Not a Twitter trying to be famous somebody. Not somebody on Twitter like that little dude who's saying weird shit to girls. I heard this from somebody. And I got a DM so fast. Dude, take that down. That's not cool. And then I felt bad. I did actually delete that part. I felt bad. I'm like, you're right. It's not cool.
You literally let a 5'1" dude press your ass.
I felt
scared.
bad.
You saw the spinning kicks and he got scared.
The reason I felt bad is because it's like, you're right. If somebody said something like, you want to call me like everything that people already call me.
You sexually assaulted me in 1998.
I didn't know you till 2014 or 15 or whatever the hell it is. So shut up. All right, we got to start this over. UFC 316 is not unlike UFC Vegas 107, where we had a couple of switcherinos, couple of new matchups, and some brand new fights. This is a brand new fight. Neither one of these guys was already on this card. They were added. A late addition. That's because Marquel Mederos was supposed to fight last week at UFC Vegas 107, but he got sick. He was ill. He was too sick to eat, too sick to cut weight, and he couldn't fight. So they moved him to this week. And they brought up a brand new UFC debut in Mark Choinski. So we have Marquel Mederos, 10-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, on an 8-fight win streak, taking on Mark Choinski, undefeated in his career, making a short notice UFC debut. Marquel Mederos, we just broke him down last week, and it's the exact same breakdown. He's a good striker. He puts combinations together pretty well. He does throw up some decent volume. He is very comfortable in fights. He flows really well. His takedowns, he's got slick offense, slick defense, good submission defense. He doesn't really have a lot of offensive submissions, but submitting him is not the easiest task in the world. He's coming off that close win over Austin Hubbard, where the striking actually looked pretty good, and the striking defense was solid, where he was moving when he needed to move. He wasn't getting hit very often, but he did slow down as that fight went on.
Do that again.
This?
Well, you like went his striking defense.
This is okay. I'll get after it live.
Back up and show Crazy Kev.
No.
Back up and show Crazy Kev what would happen if he pressed you again.
We just need the size of my hand next to any other object
Look at
And then
these
if
bad
he
boys.
takes a picture of a can next to his head, we'll see that this is
Look at these fucking bad boys, man. This is a real deal here. Now you get it. Now you're going to understand when I'm in Atlanta how it happened. Wait, where's my fucking Coke? I don't have those Coke cans.
The mini Cokes. That's an all-time podcast moment for me when you had that mini Coke of just pretending it was a full-size Coke. Listen, he's taking on Mark Choinski. Mark Choinski's not a name you've heard of because he's a regional guy and he's getting the call up. He is a high school wrestler who did really well and then transitioned to college wrestling and then now MMA. What makes it interesting is that even though he has all-American credentials in wrestling, and even though he was a very accomplished wrestler for the majority of his life, he doesn't fight like a wrestler. He's at that Rufus fight camp, and he fights like a Rufus fight sport guy. He looks like a Pettis. He literally will put his hands on the mat to try to kick your head. He is primarily a striker, and if he needs to wrestle, he can, but it is not his go-to. You would not watch any of his fights and assume he was a wrestler. You wouldn't even know he was a wrestler because he's so comfortable striking.
That's stupid.
That's not stupid. I watched the tape. He's not diving at legs. He's coming out. He's striking first.
That's pretty stupid.
Okay. Seemingly pretty good prospect. 8-0 in his career, coming out of a great camp, stepping up on short notice here. What is weird is Marquel Mederos was too sick for last week. And I can understand being too sick to cut weight and weigh in and actually get into a fight, but have it be a short-term thing, right? A stomach bug and Joe Pyfer shit his pants. We'll talk about that a little later. I understand that.
Shit.
But we're 1 week removed. 1 week removed. And even if this was a 24-hour bug, it still takes you a few days to recover. And if this is the case, he is immediately on an airplane, flying to New Jersey, trying to eat because he hadn't eaten for a while, then also trying to cut the weight and get his body right and do all the things. I don't love the circumstances here. Marquel Mederos is probably the better overall fighter. He's a very skilled guy. He's got good striking. He's got good striking defense. But this is a guy who slowed down in his last fight. We had a full fight camp. And now here he is, weird circumstances with an illness. I trust Mark Choinski. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm picking Mark Choinski to win this fight. I don't love the circumstances with the Mederos situation. If that dude did not have the health issue and he was here and he wasn't sick and all that other crap, very different breakdown. But I am putting a lot of credence into that. It's not like he stayed in Vegas, and this is in Vegas. He had to fly from Vegas to Jersey.
4-hour flight, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit.
2 time zones, 4 hours, 2 time zones.
This guy had to get on a plane and fly 4 hours to
And try not
New
to shit his
Jersey.
pants.
Holy shit. I didn't even think about that. Are you kidding me? A 4-hour flight? How is he ever going to recover?
It's not too late to change your pick.
How is he ever going to recover? Oh, my God. Is it my turn to go? So you're picking
Sure
Mark
is.
and that fucking fancy goatee?
Low confidence.
That Rob
You know what's
Dibble
funny?
goatee?
This is the glow up of the century. Go look at his topology picture, and like it's not the same fucking guy. Sorry,
Wasn't it Rob Dibble that had the big goatee like that? Remember? How
Rob
about
Dibble? Let me look it up.
the best show of all time that nobody talks about to this day? Like it literally has
The
like
baseball
disappeared.
player, Rob Dibble.
Yeah, it literally has disappeared from existence and nobody ever talks about it. But the best damn sports show period was the cutting
that was
edge.
a good show. Yeah.
It was the cutting edge of all shows. It basically was like everything that everything has turned into, they did it first. Like
Wasn't
they're
that
just sitting
Sally?
around.
Sally was in
Yeah,
that.
just sitting around with Pete fucking what the fuck is his name? The quarterback,
thick white dude.
the
Yeah,
former
the thick
quarterback.
white dude.
I mean, that was the best show of all time. It literally was just a sit around and just trash each other and have fun. And it was the best show. But I think he had one of those goatees like that.
They did a lot of UFC stuff back in the day because they were sort of the black eye of sports stuff, and UFC wasn't quite popular yet, so they would cover some UFC back in the day. So I did watch a lot of that.
Anyway, yeah, Markel's going to be fine. I talked to somebody that's pretty close to Markel and said that, yeah, it was just a little stomach bug. He's good to go. Angelo thinks, oh, goddamn 4-hour flight fucking, oh my God, how is he ever going to recover from that?
Have you ever had diarrhea on a flight? It's not great.
Someone just
The
walked.
wife and the kids just got back from a nice walk. I need to get not clear windows here is what needs to happen. But yeah, that's my front door.
You
And
can
they
frost
just
them. You just put something on to frost them or something, and then you could have more privacy from, because this is your only computer.
yeah, when the OnlyFans money. Yeah. I got you, dog.
And also you said he had a full camp and he slowed down against Dustin Hubbard in that fight. That was at fucking 10,000 feet, Mexico City, and he fucking dogged that shit out. He was the one that reversed the position, split Austin open, and won the third round of that fight in a close fight. He toughed that shit out. I like Marquel. There is definitely sometimes in fights where he can be a little bit too. Honestly, a little bit too confident in his abilities where he gets in positions and he doesn't have a sense of urgency, doesn't have the tenacity to really kind of get out of positions. And against Mark, there is that pathway where he comes and wrestles, is able to control Marquel a little bit, but Markel's seen the level of wrestling that Mark is going to bring in. As you mentioned, Mark isn't like a Merab all-in wrestler. He does shoot takedowns, but he can't get takedown on his own. He fought Ricky Simone's brother, and he got 3 takedowns in that fight, but they were like, one was like a guillotine from Ricky Simone's brother, one like Ricky Simone's brother initiated the takedown and then just kind of fell backwards, and Mark was able to get that takedown. He does have pretty good control when he gets on top. You're going to look at his Instagram. He's got some good scrambles and stuff and does the back take and all this stuff, but Markel's seen that stuff. He used to be at Factory X with Yusuf and Isaac and all those guys. All those guys out there know how to wrestle. Now he's down in Arizona or whatever. Markel's the better striker. Should be able to handle himself in the wrestling as well. Maybe even mixing his own takedowns. I just don't think that Mark is at this point in his career. Obviously, he's still kind of developing as a fighter, but at this point, I just don't see him as a UFC level guy. And Marquel is really fucking talented. He's really fucking good, and this could be an opportunity for Marquel to finally find a finish that's kind of been eluding him, because he sits on some shots sometimes, has some nice combinations, switching stances. I think the switching of stances that I talked about last week will give Mark some issues if he's looking for those entries. I just don't think Mark has fought a guy quite on the Markel's level. I like Marquel, and I think he's going to get it done, maybe even inside the distance.
Yeah, so a couple things. One, I'm realizing now I only updated the first graphic and not the second. See, there's no odds here, and there are odds here. That is what it is. That's going to be like that the rest of the show, but you're fine. You'll get the odds on the first slide. Second thing, I agree with almost everything you said. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that illness. A lot. I picked,
but I literally talked to somebody that knows him that said it was not that big a deal. It was enough to. He felt weird on fight week. He wasn't going to be able to really cut the weight very well, so he just pulled out of it.
You told me that like today. I was well down this path already, and I'm going to stick on this path.
2 days ago.
So I picked Marquel Mederos last week as an underdog, just to show you how much I do think he's a very good fighter. I did today place a bet on Mark Choinski win inside the distance decision, no action. I do think he's tough. I do think he's durable. I do think if Marquel does start to land clean, then Mark can lean on that Division III All-American wrestling.
10 a.m. yesterday. Well,
okay.
You only told me about it today.
10 a.m. yesterday, today. It's my birthday.
Yeah, and then
week.
You still placed the bet. That's a bad bet.
Inside the distance decision, no action. I don't see Markel's not getting the finish, dude. He's not.
Marquel fucking hits hard.
Where's it been?
He's got plenty of finishes. He just didn't get any lately.
We don't have any DraftKings fantasy pricing because this fight is a newer addition to the card, but once we do, it will be fully loaded into the DraftKings Optimizer. It'll be fully loaded into the Fight Simulator, and you'll have full access to every single pick, bet, and tool that we offer. Not only for this card, but the 2 fight nights that are not in the Apex and UFC 317 right after the jump. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10. Support your boys and unlock the greatest service this space has to offer. WeWantPicks.com. We have a happy birthday super chat from Reese Keaton. Thank you. Are those cats? Squirrels?
Yeah,
what is this animal?
Pussy.
Is that what that is?
Meow.
Is that a cat?
And that's Reese Keaton.
No, no. You're not a Reese's Pieces guy, are you? Because that ain't it.
I don't know why anybody would eat Reese's Pieces when you can just eat Reese's.
They're Reese's Pieces. They're not Reese's. They're Reese's.
It's Reese's.
Pieces, not pieces. Pieces. It's Reese's.
Right,
Pieces.
Racist. Whoa. Actually, hold on a second. We're on the first fight of the night, and you're already picking against a person of color.
Are there any other people of color in this card? Ooh. Oh, I don't worry. I got one later. We're good. Even slate. Next up, At UFC 316, we have a porn star, Quillan Salkilld, taking on Yanal Ashmouz. Quillan Salkilld, 8-1 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5. He is coming off that UFC debut win, taking on Yanal Ashmouz. Yanal Ashmouz is 8-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that win over the lunatic Trevor Peek. Quillan Salkilld not only has one of the wildest looks that you could choose to have in 2025, but he is also
mustaches are in, by the way.
Yeah, that mustache with that hair, like this is a porn star. You are looking at a porn star.
You talk to a porn star every Tuesday night. Shouldn't surprise you.
Is that you? Are you you're the masked man? Oh my God. Can I get a discount?
I'll set you up something.
It's been a lot of money.
You've been a big donor.
We have Quillan Salkilld. He's a good striker. He uses kicks pretty well. He manages range. He'll work the body. And as soon as you're comfortable striking with him, he'll go ahead and mix it up. He'll lower his level. He'll take a shot. Overall, he's a well-rounded guy. He can fight at distance because of the length or inside the pocket. He is very hittable, but he is tough enough and manages to continue coming forward no matter what. He can get into an ugly fight, and he will chase finishes instead of settling in. But he is coming off that knockout win over Angelo Birthday in that UFC debut. He's taking on Yanal Ashmouz. Yanal Ashmouz is a pretty well-rounded guy. He's small for the division, but he does a good job.
Are you saying anal ash mouth? What'd you say?
Well, I see the Salkilld mustache and hair, and I can't get my brain right. I can't dial it in. So I've got filth on the mind. I'll tell you that. If I saw a foot right now, I don't know what would happen. Anyway.
No, well, hold on a second. That's your thing, huh?
You've seen the donations? No, it's not a thing. Just straight testicles, like Corey Sandhagen said that he shared. Did you see Corey Sandhagen's thing? Obviously, he was joking. Did you see that?
How many drinks have you had?
This is my third. But did you see the Corey Sandhagen thing? I'm not making that up.
No.
He said with a 100% dead serious face that he made $2 million off OnlyFans last year, sharing pictures of only his testicles, not the shaft, nothing, just the nuts. It was a whole thing. But he's got a new PR team, and it's actually working for him, so it was entirely made up, but it was pretty funny. Anyway, Yanal's a pretty well-rounded guy. He'll come forward. He'll get after it. He is a striker first. He'll throw heavy. He'll even work in a spinning attack or two, and then he will transition to wrestling. He's got a good base. He can be heavy on top if he gets a takedown. There's nothing really amazing about this guy, but he does have good power. He is strong. He is durable, and he can just grind out some wins. He's coming off that win over Trevor Peek, where it was obvious that A, Trevor Peek absolutely sucks, and B, Yanal can wrestle because he relied on it in that fight. This fight is going to come down entirely, in my opinion, to Quillan's takedown defense. I think on the feet, he's going to be the much better striker, which is going to force Yanal to shoot. And if Yanal gets the shots and he ends up getting the takedowns, he is pretty good and tough and durable on top. As long as Quillan doesn't do some jiu-jitsu nerd bullshit, meaning as long as when Yanal shoots a takedown, if Quillan is stuffing the head and worrying about the actual takedown and not just jumping guillotine or doing some nonsense, he should be good. He should win this fight. But Yanal hits like a freight train. He's not a guy you're going to get out of there very quickly, and he can wrestle. Quillan's the pick. I am not even going to look at these odds at minus 450. What do you think, Jacob?
First of all, Yanal is the better striker, and Quillan is the better grappler. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, grappling and wrestling are not the same thing.
Excuse me, you had your fucking turn.
Okay, you're right. You never interrupt.
Sorry, I forgot it's your birthday.
Yeah, a little bit of class goes on.
Go ahead. Actually, you know what? I disagree with you. Your chance to rebuttal. Go ahead.
I feel as though wrestling and grappling are two
different
things. Shut up!
You are so. No, I'm sorry. I will not do that again.
Where Quillan is probably the better jiu-jitsu guy, Yanal's the better wrestler. So he can get the fight to the ground. And that's why I said, as long as Quillan doesn't do some jiu-jitsu nerd bullshit. You understand?
And you just base that off of Yanal taking down Trevor Peek.
Yes. And previous opponents as well.
Quillan in his Contender Series fight won with what?
He had a handful of takedowns, which dragged up his average to 8.81 per 15 minutes.
He had 9 takedowns, and he won the fight with his wrestling because he was getting the fuck beat out of him in the striking, which is why I say Yanal is the better striker here. Now, I will say Quillan, incredible kicks, very fast kicks, high kicks, body kicks, leg kicks. The kicks come high, the kicks come fast. And if you're a foot guy, if Yanal's a foot guy, he might eat a foot in the face because the way that Yanal fights, he does fight a little bit hands low. He kind of waits for those counters. He will throw big over the top, and Quillan could sneak one of those big Australian feet into the mouth of Yanal. I've been a Quillan hater. I watched that Contender Series fight, and I was like, holy shit, this guy gets lit up. He was desperate with the wrestling to win that fight, and he toughed it out. He's a tough kid. There's no doubt about that. He got fucking pop, pop, pop against the fence back, pop, 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 and it, he's one of those, yeah, oh, yeah, nice hit, like I'm at the, you know what I mean? You know those guys?
No.
When they get hit in the face and they're trying to act like it does, like he went, like, oh, it didn't hurt, like stuck his tongue out, Sure. If he's doing that against Yanal, it could be a little bit different. The good thing is for Quillan is Yanal is not like a crazy pressure guy. The guy that he fought in the Contender Series guy was in his fucking face, boxing him for fucking 15 minutes. He needed those takedowns. Yanal is a pull you in to the big shots, pull you in so he can try to shoot those takedowns, which is going to be good for Quillan. The bigger cage, he should have the kicks, he should be the pressure. Whoever is pressing forward in this fight is going to win this fight. So you're going to know in the first minute or two, whoever is controlling the octagon is going to win this fight. So if you see Yanal start backing up like he does, Quillan's going to win this fight. If you see Yanal come in with that pressure that the Contender Series kid had, Quillan might be in fucking trouble because he backs up, he drops his hands, he gets desperate with the wrestling, and he gets fucking lit up when he puts his back against the fence. Now, Quillan, in his last fight, Angelo, yes. I do need to admit, I do need to be honest here. And this is, I'm always straightforward and honest with the people and everything that I do. This one is one of the more tougher, harder things to admit. I had Angelo Jubilee against Quillan. Ooh. And I think if you watch that fight back, I think it was very clear that it was an early stoppage. I think Angelo was really
he did pop up pretty quick. Yeah,
I think he was really about to take over that fight. I'm still not sold on Quillan, although I do believe that this matchup is a pretty good matchup for him. Yanal is kind of a one-hitter quitter. I don't think Yanal is going to be able to get the takedowns on Quillan. Quillan's long on the ground, so even if he does get taken down, I think he can scramble. Quillan might be able to get some takedowns on his own. If there's one thing I know for sure, and I placed a bet, I'll give you a fucking free bet. I don't give a shit. I just placed a bet for fight does not go the distance on this fight. I respect the toughness. Both these guys are tough. Quillan's a tough guy. Yanal's a tough guy. He showed his toughness against Trevor Peek, against Chris Duncan, all that stuff. But this feels like a clash of styles to where somebody is going to get exposed. I think Yanal's going to get exposed or Quillan's going to get exposed. Big cage with the kicks. I think the head kick's there, and Quillan could expose this guy. So instead of picking the Quillan side for minus fucking 400, I'm going to play fight does not go the distance as plus money and see if he can lay in something.
Well, we are heads up again, my friend. I went Yanal Ashmouz inside the distance, decision, no action, because I do think he's tough enough to weather whatever bullshit storm comes his way.
I think Quillan by sub is a interesting play. I think it's like plus 800 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put much on it because, he's a pretty big dog.
You're not a full fucking retard.
I have small testicles, so I'm a little nervy. I don't really go all in on some of these bets. So not a ton on it, but I did place a little bit. It wasn't much. The odds weren't much worse than his money line. I get a full refund if he doesn't get a finish. So I'll take it. Because Yanal is tough. I don't see Yanal getting finished. I likely get a refund. Oh God. Trying too fast, too soon. $9,400 in DraftKings Fantasy for Quillan, which means you're going to need a finish or a ton of takedowns for him to be worth that money. The way DraftKings Fantasy scoring works is a whole bunch of regular strikes in a strike-only match without knockdowns or a finish. You don't score that well. You get 5 points for a takedown. You get 10 points for a knockdown. You get bonus points for a finish, and everything in between is a half a point. So I do not think this is worth it unless you are full-blown on the Quillan side and you do think he gets a finish. But the reality is Safety Parlay continues to be the beacon of stability. Safety Parlay remains stable because it avoids fights like this. I gave you a plus money safety parlay 2 weeks ago. I gave you a plus money safety parlay last week. It's not my fault. Aaron Blanchfield didn't show up, but that parlay was plus money before Aaron wasn't able to fight because her opponent had a seizure. We actually can't talk shit. A seizure is not her fault. Missing weigh-ins or missing weight. That titties. Is. I mean, it might be. You got fake tits, you miss weight, then you had a seizure. Something's up.
When you put Angelo knows better than anyone. When you put a foreign object inside of your body,
it rejects
especially if it's plastic and if it's not done right, it can be very, very dangerous. I mean, I don't know if you've ever talked about it, but I mean, it's Pride Month, so we should be able to talk about it a little bit in a situation like this. But I mean, Angelo spent 17, 18 days in the hospital, something like that.
What is funny is none of that is true. What is funny is obviously Tiff.
None of it's true. Yeah, I just make shit up. That's what I do, and I sit here, Angelo, and I just blatantly lie about you getting a rectal explosion from a foreign object, and you spent 18 days in a hospital because of it. I would make that up during Pride Month.
Yes, you would. Tiffany worked in a hospital for many, many years, and the stories that these nurses have of people with foreign objects stuck in there are actually it's more common than you think. It's pretty.
How about the
wild.
video or picture of the nurse carrying the bedpan with the biggest
yeah, I've seen that. That is nuts. Is that real? Was that a real picture? It was
fucking real.
Oh, I've seen.
Now there's people I've seen TikToks of people putting fake turds they go into restaurants.
Yes.
And it's like this big yam or something. It's fucking, and they put it in the toilet, and then they're like, hey, I can't flush. There's something in the toilet. I can't flush it. And then the workers go in there like, they open the door and it's like,
dude, if you watch I have two poop stories. One, I was coaching wrestling, and we had a travel team, and we were like in Virginia for nationals or something like that. And I guess a couple of the kids were sharing a room. I wasn't in there. I didn't see this. It's just they told me the story. And
I don't know why that was so funny. A couple of kids I went in there.
Well, because like I don't want these are high school kids. It's not like whatever. Anyway.
Whoa! Say that again. Say that again. Hold on. Say that again.
These were high school kids.
It's not like, go finish what you're about to say.
Like they were these bunch of little kids sharing a room. They were high school kids.
I think you were about to say they were high school kids, not like they were underage, is what you sounded like you were about to say.
I was saying not like they were on their own, like little kids in their room. They were high school kids that could share a hotel room together. Anyway, where I'm going with this is one of them clogged the toilet. And instead of like thinking like to call maintenance or whatever, he quite literally wrapped a towel around his hand, which a towel doesn't keep your hand dry, reached into the toilet and was scooping shit out of it.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that you've never pulled your own shit out of a toilet in a panic because it's so overflowing?
No, but my second story is in the Fight Foods vlog, like 2 months ago, I had to pull somebody else's shit out of a toilet. We had a bunch of kids over for the hibachi one. It was the John Jones and Stipe Miocic's Fight Food vlog. Go check that. At the end of the vlog, I'm watching the main event. I am still mic'd up watching the main event, recording my reaction. And then the kids come downstairs. The toilet's clogged and there's whatever. So I go upstairs and the toilet is clogged. And there's little broken pieces of plastic cup all inside of a huge turd. So I had to put on gloves and pull the shit out of the toilet. But I was mic'd up the whole time. So you get my and then Brian was clever enough to be like, I'm going to take the camera up there too. So it's a pretty funny moment in the vlog.
I worked at a restaurant and somebody said, hey, somebody smeared shit all over the walls. And I had to go clean it up. Literally somebody just took and just smeared it all over. Yeah, it's not really that funny.
People are so fucked up, dude.
Literally, just had to sit in there for the next half hour. Just
That's just so gross, dude. People are fucked. This started with a safety parlay pitch.
A bunch of donations.
I'm getting to them right now. It is the beacon of stability. You can unlock them at WeWantPicks.com. We have a $9.99 from Seth Otto. Angelo, can you explain the difference between a slug fight and a slug fest? We have all forgotten, really need to know. Here's the deal. A slug fight.
This could turn into a slug fight.
It could be. A slug fight is just a sloppy, winging punches, technique out the window mess.
I would argue that Quillan's Contender Series fight was a slug fight. That was back and forth.
When he was getting his head was getting snapped back, yeah. That's a slug fight. A slugfest does have technique, and they're just getting after it. It's not sloppy. They're not like bummish. It's just two dudes getting after, and they know what they're doing. That's the difference. One is sloppy. One is not sloppy. That's the difference.
What's the not sloppy one?
Slug fest. Slug fight is sloppy as fuck. Like two slugs fighting. Just a fucking gross mess. Slug fest. We're here at a festival celebrating the slugs. See? 1999 super fat chat. I've been drinking, dude. Super chat from TTG Matt. I joined We Want Pricks Premium almost a year ago.
We want pricks.
Dude, I'm a mess. I've made a little over 10,000 this year so far. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't joined Premium, you're missing out. I'm thinking about slamming 500 on Merab by decision. That's probably a good bet. We'll get to it. Jacob will disagree, but I don't. Thank you for the $20, and I'm very, very glad that you appreciate Premium membership and it's working out for you. Thank you, TTG Matt. Next up, at UFC 316, we have Jeka Saragih taking on Ju Sang Yu. Jeka Saragih is 14-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that submission loss to Weston Wilson. He's taking on Ju Sang Yu, undefeated in his career, making his UFC debut. Ju Sang Yu is a very good prospect. He's got fluid striking style. He's going to bounce on his toes. He closes range with a pretty wide stance. He switches from southpaw to orthodox. He mixes up where he throws his punches. And this is, I said it on the quick pick video. I'm going to say it again here. His style with the wide stance and the way he comes in and his hands are at his hips, it resembles two people. And I'm not, I was going to say Poetan because he'll plot forward and just like wait and try to get you off the cage. Problem is, you know, he doesn't accomplish any of those things, but he has that style. And the other one was Conor McGregor. Same wide stance, accurate. Like his eyes never leave where he wants to throw a punch. He's laser focused on what he's doing. Obviously, he's only 8-0. What is that? He's only 8-0. So he's trying to figure it all out. The reality is, though, Ju Sang Yu is a very good prospect. He's got very good striking, accurate striking. He's got some decent power in the mix. He can grapple as well with some clean takedowns and control. He's taking on Jeka Saragih, who's a very powerful and very fun fighter. He's powerful enough that it almost doesn't matter what else he does because he comes in, he just bombs away. He looks for that chin, and many times, more often than not, if you look at his record, he has actually found it. What's even more impressive, though, is he does have some other techniques. It's not just bomb, bomb, bomb. He'll shoot some takedowns. Whoa. He's got okay BJJ.
Can't
he is definitely
airplane.
Bomb, bomb, bomb. What if I was a bombardier? What if I was a bombardier? Bomb, 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 bomb. He
fuck him, by the way.
Oh, because he's a Knicks fan. He Jeka is coming off that almost instant takedown and submission loss to Weston Wilson, and that's because at this point in his career he is power or bust. He's trying to take your head off, and that's it. And I don't think it's going to happen here. Yu is a very real fighter. He's got solid technique. He can wrestle if he needs to. He's got very good striking. And he'll avoid the Hail Mary from the hip power of Jeka. Ju Sang Yu should be able to get it done. If Jacob tells you otherwise, it's because he has a soft spot because Jeka was his underdog lock of the week before he was slaughtered. Jacob, you're up.
Wow. You can always tell when Angelo's a little bit scared of how I'm going to break down a fight because he tries to cut me off. He tries to get ahead of what I'm about to say. What I will say is, if you guys are looking for lock of the week, right? Sometimes I tell you, maybe you should be a premium member, right? Because lock of the week's always going to be a free pick. I'm always going to give you that on a demonetized video. But sometimes the premium members are going to get a little bit better odds. And there's something on this fight that's moving. It's moving and grooving, right? Especially, it's moving more than Angelo's going to be moving at the end of this stream because we're going to play some music and do the salsa dance. The fuck was that? You okay?
Yeah, living La Vida Loca. I was moving.
Living La Vida. What a great song, huh?
Pride Month.
Is he gay? Is he a homosexual?
Is he gay?
Ricky Martin's a homosexual?
Yeah. He invented it.
I think that was Freddie Mercury. I think he invented was homosexuality. He invented the mustache. The homosexual mustache. is Freddie Mercury, and I fucking love Freddie. He's the greatest singer of all time, I think.
Freddie Mercury is that is a great poll, and he does have an unbelievable voice.
Yeah, I think it's.
I remember I would listen to. We listened to. Grew up in Connecticut. We would listen to 95.1, like the classic rock station. It was a lot of Queen, and then as a kid, they would always play.
Hold on a second. When you're a kid, Angelo, that doesn't make any lick of sense. When you're a kid, Queen was not fucking classic rock. They were rock.
It was a classic rock station. No, that was classic rock.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What year did We Are the Champions come out? Look it up. 70-something.
Exactly.
I was a kid in the 90s.
Yo, my fucking dick and balls.
Anyway, I discovered they
1977, you were 7 years old.
Nice try.
Classic rock. Okay. Go ahead with your bullshit story.
I didn't know they played We Are the Champions and what's that other song? They played them back to back.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, it's two Queen songs.
We Will Rock You?
No, they have to play them. I don't know if they had to play them together, but
that.
They always played them
with me.
They always played them back to back. So then I liked Queen, right? That's like the songs I would hear in the car, or whatever like that. And then I found out how he died. It blew my mind. I was like, oh, what is this? And you don't know at that age how you get that. And then you figured it out, and it's like, oh shit. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I really cut you off there for a random story that didn't matter.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any comments about me this week. A lot of times I get it, right? I can be a little bit annoying.
Oh, We Are the Champions. Sorry. They would play We Are the Champions.
That was the song we're talking about. You said there was another song.
Right. No, We Are the What did I just search? Sorry. Is it We Will Rock You?
I'm just going to let this play out, guys.
Yeah, it's We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm done. We got there.
So Jeka's a former lock of the week, and I definitely lock of the week is being considered on this fight in some capacity. Jeka hits like a fucking truck, and honestly, the way that he came in against that Weston Wilson fight, I don't really blame the guy. Because Weston Wilson, I mean, he fucking is like one of the most hittable guys in the world, has been put out cold, and Jeka was like, oh, I'm going to get a fucking highlight here. The second the fight started, he just fucking runs around. There was one, I paused it, and I forgot to take a picture of it, but there was one where he literally cocks back like this and goes like this into the fucking, like Weston is against the fence, and Jeka literally already has the fist cocked, doesn't give a fuck about anything, and like hops into a right hand and throws it right, and Weston sees it coming and still just fucking hits him in the face. So I don't really blame him for that. Unfortunately, that kind of is his style at all times. It's a lot of chaos, it's a lot of just wild shots, but if you fuck around, right? And if Ju Sung Yu comes in and is overconfident, like this guy isn't very good, you hang out in the pocket or you try to do a little bit too much. We saw Lucas Alexander, right? He was fucking got a little bit too lazy, leaving the pocket, and Jeka was able to find him. And if Jeka finds a shot, he can knock out anybody in this division. He has big power for 145, but Ju Sung Yu's the better fighter. He's a technical guy, very, very technical, power in his own right, can wrestle, do all this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in and shoots a takedown because Jeka's got some real disparities when he's on his back. That seems like the easiest path to victory. Don't even fuck around with the power, especially early, right? I mean, it's almost like I sat here last week with Billy Golf, right? And we said, hey, Billy, don't fucking wrestle this. Hey, Billy, don't wrestle this guy because the only chance that he probably has to win the fucking fight is if you give him a chance to win the fucking fight with the wrestling. Don't do it. If you have to do it, wait till hey, Billy, after the first round, Billy, then he'll be tired. What does Billy do? Comes in, just shoots takedowns, gets his neck fucking stolen. If I'm Ju Sung Yu, I might wrestle early and then worry about the power late, but he's a better fighter. I'm going Ju Sung Yu. I played money on him as well.
Yeah, good. And I agree with you. It's funny with the Billy Golf thing. I picked him in his first matchup, and then when he got the new matchup against Ramiz, I was like, I don't know why his odds are wider. Like Ramiz is actually dangerous at one thing, where his first opponent was dangerous at nothing. And then
I
sure
could
enough,
not. I could not
idiot went right
imagine.
into it.
I could not imagine being a coach in any capacity around a fighter in that type of matchup and suggesting
Anything other than winging punches at his face.
It's like and maybe the fighter, maybe that wasn't the game plan. Maybe it's just like it just is what it is. But it's like the game plan should be, hey, don't fucking do this. Don't do this. And we see week after week these fighters come in where we have us and other people breaking down fights saying you probably shouldn't do this, and then they do it. And it's like who is around these people? It's like fucking Connecticut retards.
A lot of good fighters came out of Connecticut.
Not you.
A lot. I'm not a fighter.
Yeah, we learned that.
I out-wrestled many people. I bashed your face in till it bled. We have a picture. Would you like to see the picture?
Yeah, see the picture. I don't think it exists.
Okay. Here we go.
Do you not have pants on or something?
That's your bloody nose.
What the hell is this? Hold on. Is that me?
Yeah. Bloody nose.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, no, you got fucked up. You got beat pretty good that day. If you guys want to watch that, just search We Want Picks The Fight, and you'll see Jacob's head snap back a few times. Jacob gaslit me last week into thinking I didn't take him down. I'm like, we ended up on the ground multiple times. How did I have that? And then I watched it again. I'm like, oh, I had that nice little slick. Anyway, $6,700 in DraftKings Fantasy for Jeka Saragih. And the reality is there is a world, maybe 1 in 100 times, where he does land that punch and does get that knockout. So if you're playing DraftKings Fantasy and you have 150 lineups, have a few with Jeka in it, because there is a world where he does land that big punch.
Yeah, nobody believes that picture, by the way.
It's in the video. I didn't alter the video.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You edited it.
Oh, yeah.
You edited the video.
Okay.
All right, well, and that's why there's a favorable edit. Very favorable.
That's all I'm hearing at this point in the podcast.
If I had all the raw if I still had all the raw footage, I would
like
send
it
to
raw.
I would send it to a different editor and be like, edit this. But I don't
have. You
have
ever done anal?
Go to WeWantPicks.com, become a premium member. You'll unlock every pick, every bet, every tool, the artificial intelligence, not just me, but Jacob, Artem, Betsam, everybody.
I just want to say, thank God I'm not high, because if I would have said that and I was high, I would be laughing for the next 25 minutes. We'll be right back.
I mean, it was a wild thing to say. Turtles Run MMA, $4.99 super chat. Ricky Simone showed the only way to stop the machine is to cut the circuit. He has no off button. What do you guys think of Sugar Sub plus 2,800? He's talking about Ricky Simone is the only person that beat Merab in the UFC. No, he didn't he lose 2 fights in the UFC? It's his last loss. Let's put it that way. I don't think Sean O'Malley's going to win by sub. If he wins, it's because that whole hip injury thing. Thank you for the super chat. If Sean O'Malley wins, it's because the whole hip injury thing that he's talking about was real. And now with full mobility and a full ability to stop the takedowns and stay lateral to avoid the takedowns, he wins striking. I don't see him winning submission. Do you think he can win by sub?
I think he wins however he wants to win.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that fight. Next up at UFC 316, we have Ariane Lipski dos Santos taking on Cong Wang. Ariane Lipski, 3-2 in her last 5. She is on a 2-fight skid, but she's got a interesting record of 17-10. While 10 losses is a lot, so is 17 wins. She's taking on Cong Wang, 7-1 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off that bounce back win over Bruna Brasil. Ariane Lipski, or Ariane dos Santos, she has been married. She is off the market, is a decent striker. She can grapple if she dictates, but mostly a striker. She's got decent.
What flag is that?
For who? Lipski? I fucked this graphic up. I had the Cong Wang had the look at the flag. Look at the flag she did have. It's like the Dominican flag. She's like, oh, Dominican.
A little distracted, huh?
Dude, when you do that, I spend so much time making sure the graphics are beautiful that sometimes I fuck up a flag. Okay. Ariane Lipski's a good striker. She doesn't have a ton of power, but she's got good technique. She will stay busy. She'll get her hands going. She's got good movement.
Yeah,
very
she's not
hard.
Romanian, people are saying.
No, yeah, she's Brazilian. She's got good movement, and she's a very hard person to outstrike. If you look at her career, she's actually outstruck every single one of her opponents except a few of them. The reality is that Ariane Lipski can also grapple. Her takedown offense is not spectacular, but if she does get a takedown, and if she is on top, she's got very good jiu-jitsu. She's taking on Cong Wang. Cong Wang was a former professional kickboxer that moved over to MMA. She beat Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. Doesn't take a lot of Googling to find that. The reality is she fights exactly as you would expect a former kickboxer to fight. She's got good power. She's got good speed. She's got good technique. Takedown defense, seemingly pretty good as well. And now we saw in her last fight, she's got some offensive takedowns. And I know the gut reaction from most people are going to be like, whoa, this flag is wrong. And then the second reaction is going to be like, oh, Ariane Lipski sucks. Ariane Lipski does not suck. Ariane Lipski is just a pitter-patter striker, but it's good striking. It's technical striking. She stays busy. And if she could avoid the power here, she could potentially win some minutes. Ariane Lipski is better than some of her more recent outings. And yes, Jasmine just beat her, but Jasmine's a very good wrestler who needed to take her down. Ariane Lipski was outstriking Jasmine Vicious. This is striker versus striker. Cong Wang is the more accomplished striker, the harder hitting striker. Cong Wang should win this fight. Minus 600 seems pretty far. I did say that last time as well, and she looked every bit of her salary last time. But I am going to pick Cong Wang. She should win. I mean, 6-1 odds, though, on a lady fight seems a little crazy. What do you think, Jacob? And also, sorry. You see these odds, right? Plus 450, minus 600. Then you see these odds. Plus 295, minus 360. These are the odds from when I filmed this on Sunday. So the movement between Sunday and today is minus 360 to minus 600.
Which is more than you've moved since Sunday.
Okay, you know what? I threw that Frisbee like a motherfucker for hours. Can you?
I've never seen you slammed one.
I slotted one. No, I didn't slot one. I slammed a couple of slams. No, I slammed too much. You guys are like delicate, like, and I'm like,
I'm just just coordinated. You just tap in and just tap in.
Tap
in. Push
my favorite can jam experience was when you and I just got fucking walloped in wiffle ball by Bryson Casey because they both played.
I never lost at anything.
They both played Division I baseball, so that just wasn't it. Then we hit can jam. Turns out Casey can't throw a Frisbee. He doesn't know if he's a lefty or righty. He basically fucking quit. He's like, I'm not playing this game. And just fucking
Division I baseball player.
Quit. He got money, too. It wasn't a bullshit Division I player.
Not being able to throw. Yeah, he played at fucking Oklahoma. I mean, fucking big-ass fucking. He can't throw a Frisbee. It's the most wild thing. It's just like Bo played college football and he can't throw a fucking wiffle ball. Oh, my shit.
Crazy.
Oh, dude.
He plays like Cat. Like if Cat played.
The first time I ever watched him throw a fucking wiffle ball, I thought he was like throwing with his opposite hand to be funny. And then I realized, oh my God, this guy is being serious right now.
He stopped playing with us because we made fun of him so hard.
I'm fucking sitting here like, I got this arm action. I mean, we've talked about this before, but I mean, I need you. You got to go farther than that. Go out the door and take a left. Go out the fucking door and take a left. Run a fucking post. He took a fucking right. This fucking retard. I tell him to run a fucking post, and this guy. Listen, guys, I've been a little bit of a Cong Wang hater in the past. I actually had Gabby by submission against Cong Wang. Hit that shit for plus whatever. I mean, we won a lot of money on that. I can't remember if that was a stream bet or what that was, but ever since she came out in the Joker face paint and she flips the coin like Two-Face, it's like you don't even know who you're supposed to be. Ariane is a better version of Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil came in and got a little bit frozen in there. You kept waiting for Bruna Brazil to do a little bit more, but I think she found the speed, power, and counter-striking of Cong Wang a little bit faster, a little bit more powerful than she thought it was going to be, and she got frozen in those moments. Ariane's not going to be frozen. And honestly, I think that could be her downfall. While Bruna Brazil was able to survive because she didn't really do much in that fight, she never really committed to the strikes. Ariane's going to commit to some shit. She committed to a man. She's going to commit to some strikes. She's probably going to try to commit to some takedowns. And honestly, this could be another Cong Wang finish because as good as Ariane is and how tough she is, it could be her toughness and tenacity that really could be her downfall. I've been a Cong Wang hater, but it seems like since she's been humbled, she's kind of been a little bit more dialed in, more of the counter striker that she could be. And she is, when she is dialed in, I mean, she is fucking really fast, really powerful, really good striker. Angelo mentioned the takedowns, but those are fucking bullshit takedowns. She didn't, I mean, it was literally like a catch a leg and somebody falls down type of bullshit. So I like Cong Wang in this one, but I still don't trust her for whatever reason. But, and I'll never bet against a beautiful Romanian.
Yeah, and Cong Wang losing that fight, you see it's by submission on paper. She got dropped.
Head kick.
And almost finished and then jumped on the submission. So it's not as if the better striker was dominating the striking and got taken down. She got dropped bad. So that's how that went.
Cool. I think you messed up your audio when you did that.
What?
It's like echoey or something. I don't know what happened.
Is my shit fucked up? Hold on.
It's like cut in and out or something. John Doe MMA with $1.99 said, I told you about my beautiful Wang long ago. Okay. Thank you, John. Thank you, John Doe. MMA.
Whose audio is a mess? Is it mine or his? Holy shit.
I think yours is good now.
You sound like a robot. Give me a second. Holy crap.
Mine sounds
perfect. Do the premium pitch while I figure out the audio.
Okay, guys. What you're going to do is... Okay, I mean, you guys know how to become a premium member. If you guys are premium members in the chat, say that you're a premium member, and then everyone else, look at how many premium members are. And if you're not a premium member, then just look at the premium members, and then you'll be like, oh my God, why am I not a premium member? It's only $10 a month. And then you're going to sign up, and then you're going to do well, and you're going to be like, why wasn't I a premium member before? That's the easiest pitch we could be. Let's talk about the Pacers and the fucking Thunder. Because you guys, I won $14,000 on the Indiana Pacers, put $2,000 on them at plus 485, I think, to win another $8,000 when they beat the Thunder. I got another $95, I think, on the Pacers to win 4 in 5 games. Win 4-1 in 5 games is going to pay out another $4,000, and it's going to be easy money again. Keep doubting my fucking team, I'll tell you that.
Dude, it sounds so crazy.
It sounds fine, right, guys?
I need to disconnect the AirPods and put them back in. Holy shit.
Well, if you would have ran the right route.
What the fuck?
All right, guys. So Angelo is really fucking this shit up and really ruining.
Here, do this.
First of all, don't ever talk to me like that. Okay. Because I'm going to do what the fuck I want. And the second you tell me to do something, guess what I'm not going to do? Okay? Somebody in the chat, give me a topic to talk about. We're going to talk about something else while Angelo figures out what he wants to talk about. Give me a topic in the chat. $1.99 from Diaz. Diaz, is it? What is Z? Diaz Auto Detailing Limited Liability Company. Jacob, please do a prop up video for this card. I don't know. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy out of me. I don't know if there's a lot of props in this card. The fuck is this bobblehead shaking his head?
I'm back, baby. The headphones fixed.
Let's talk about meth, motherfuckers. So what you're going to want to start with is...
Next up at UFC 316, we have Khaos Williams taking on Andreas Gustafsson. This is a new matchup. Khaos Williams was on this card, ready to go, lost his opponent. Had 2 opponents, lost them both. Andreas Gustafsson was supposed to fight at UFC Vegas 107, lost his opponent at the weigh-ins, Trevin Giles. Did some shuffling. Andreas didn't wait for the promotion. He called out Khaos. He said, I know Khaos doesn't have an opponent next week. I'll fight him. Very manly move. Also a little bit dangerous because of who Khaos is. Khaos Williams, 15-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5 years, coming off that submission loss to Bonfim. He's taking on Andreas Gustafsson, 11-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is making his UFC debut after 2 other failed debut attempts. We already know who Khaos Williams is. We've seen him a bunch of times. He's fun to watch. He's never in a boring fight. He walks people down. He's got a good amount of power. He's got a bunch of low kicks as well. He'll use those low kicks to try to slow you down, take out the legs a little bit, and then he'll come up top and look for the knockout. He's got power. He is pretty durable, and he's always live for a knockout. He's coming off that submission loss to Gabriel Bonfim, where he was just really bombing away and headhunting. He's taking on Andreas Gustafsson. Andreas Gustafsson is a grappler. He's going to move forward. He's going to throw heat, try to back you up to the cage, and then shoot some takedowns. He does have some very real power, though. He's not a jiu-jitsu nerd. He is going to dictate if the fight gets to the ground. He's going to bomb away, and he is going to land big shots. He is not the cleanest guy in the world, but the reality is he's got power, he's got takedowns, he's got submissions. This is going to be an interesting fight because it's a brand new matchup. It's not a shuffling of the card like we had last week. Andreas moved entire cards. And this is very similar to the breakdown I did when we talked about what's his name earlier being sick and Marquel Mederos fighting a week later after not being able to do all the things, not being who he is. Andreas Gustafsson had somewhat of a weight cut. That fight last week was a catch weight, not a full-blown 170 cut. But Andreas was water loading, doing all the things, heading down that path. Then he was told, hey, Trevin Giles can't fight, so he stopped. You have all the stress of all of that. The UFC said, stick around, we'll figure something out for you. Now here he is. Andreas doesn't strike me as the type of guy where the stress is going to bother him, but that is sort of some wear and tear on your body. The reality is that Khaos Williams is an established UFC guy. He's got good striking. He's got good pressure. He's got good experience. And while he did not look very good in his last fight and he was headhunting, he should be the better fighter in this matchup. Being the better fighter isn't always enough, though, because Andreas Gustafsson could just not be as good of a fighter, but still move forward, land clean, get some takedowns.
Oh, relentless retard.
In his and Jacob's words, I am going to pick Khaos only because insanely low confidence, not betting on it. This is where I'm going. I hate the whole counting picks thing. I hate it because it's bullshit. There are levels to picks. There's confidence levels in picks. Me saying I think Khaos wins this because of these circumstances, but not confident enough to bet is not the same as me saying this person wins when we get to Azamat Mirzakhanov. This person wins and I'm positive. Those are not the same statements, and they shouldn't be measured equally. I'm going to pick Khaos. I don't trust him. I'm not betting on him. Andreas Gustafsson is the exact type of person that could just move forward, beat the shit out of him like Gabriel Bonfim did. I'm going to pick Khaos. I don't love the circumstances for Andreas. Half a weight cut, moving, all that crap. Don't love it. Picking Khaos. Dude, that shit matters. I'm going to do a bad take with Josh and ask him if it matters. I'll let him tell you.
Being a retard? He would know, wouldn't he?
Who do you think wins this fight, Jacob?
Someone said in all caps, Angelo at the buffet is a relentless retard.
Oh, dude, you send me to a Chinese buffet, they're going to call the police.
Oh my God.
They're going to call the police.
What are those things called with the cream cheese? I've actually learned about those in the
Crab Rangoons? Woo!
I think those might be it.
Yeah, it's it. Those are unbelievable.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
man. Every time I go to New York City, I go to my hotel room. I usually fly in on a Monday or a Tuesday. The meetings are the next day. I get to the hotel room. My man. I get to the hotel room.
Got double steak and just picked out all the steak.
Steak what? What do you mean steak?
Steak. You don't
That's
know
not
what fucking
Chinese
steak
food.
is?
That's hibachi. That's not Chinese food. That's Japanese food.
It's Japanese. It's Asian.
It's the Chinese and Japanese are two different things. I go to the hotel.
Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. Remember that?
No, I don't. I grew up in an area that had all sorts of culture, so we didn't make fun of them. Jacob.
Then, it's so funny that we get to another person of color and you're like, I'm picking them, but you can't trust them. You can't trust them.
I didn't say I can't trust them. Did I? It's not that you can't trust him. Andreas is very good, and this is a full fight camp. It would be different. Here, let me finish
You
my
have a black man
guy.
versus a retard. And you hate.
Retard strength is like a thing that people talk about, and they have monster dicks. I'll never forget, my buddy works in an ER, doctor, And he's the one who introduced me and my wife. And he said this guy came in on tried to get rid of himself. And then they like took care of it, whatever. And he was like, the dick on this dude. It's like, what are you doing? Look at this thing. What are you doing?
I worked at a restaurant with a gentleman that had some sort of disabilities. It seemed like he probably had the mental capacity of, I would say maybe like a 10, 12-year-old or something, but he was like a late 20s. I mean, he was 6'3", 240 pounds. Nice kid, right? I worked, I was like the supervisor manager, so he would always ask me to leave, and he didn't drive, so he'd be like, Jakey, can I call my parents and go home?
He
like
can call you Jakey, and I can't?
I guess you're both retards, so, I mean, if that's something you want to be a part of. But he'd be like, can I call my... Anyway, great guy. He just sat back there and washed the dishes and stuff, but there was one day, I didn't see it, but a coworker said that that he left the door open one time when he was peeing, and he said, hey, Jacob...
He showed it to you? Or you saw it?
I did not see it. He was telling the story. He said, Jacob, that thing was fucking...
See? There you go.
Where are we at? What are we doing?
I was about to tell you that when I get to New York, I go to the hotel room. I immediately lower the AC to 62, get in my underwear, and I Uber Eats a boneless spare rib combo platter, an extra egg roll, and a thing of crab rangoons. But go ahead. You tell me who you think's going to win this fight.
I like Khaos in this fight. I mean, he should be able to withstand the craziness of Andreas. Obviously, I was Andreas last week versus Trevin, but that's because of the lack of power, the lack of finishing ability from Giles in that fight. So, yeah, he's going to have the jab, but Andreas doesn't hang out in that boxing range. He just gets in your face. What I do worry about Khaos is he's not a guy that brings his feet with his striking. I mean, he just kind of lunges over that front leg into big, like Angelo said, the head hunting, the big powerful shots, the big hooking shots. And if Andreas is able to time some takedowns, maybe he can get Khaos to the ground. But even in that last fight when he's getting taken down, Khaos knows how to get back to his feet. He actually is pretty good with a sense of urgency to get back to his feet. Now, Andreas is not a bomb fiend. He doesn't have the crazy submission threats. He's more of a push you against the fence and TKO you. And Khaos is a big, strong dude that has a sense of urgency of get back to his feet. And against the fence, he doesn't just hang out there. He can dig an underhook. He can get off the fence. So while I was on Andreas last week, Khaos is a little bit different. He's going to have the power on those entries. He sits there and he will wait for you to close that distance so he can land those big shots. And even Andreas is able to get those takedowns, I think Khaos is able to get back to the feet. So I like Khaos to win this fight. And unless he's like getting a little bit too crazy and getting taken down, but I don't think Andreas is going to have the control. I just don't think he's going to have the control. Khaos is going to be back to the feet and land some bigger shots. So unless he just Merabs his way, like fucking 40 takedown attempts or something crazy, I just don't see him winning this fight. I like Khaos, and I'm not afraid to say
it. There we go. Yeah, Khaos he's the better fighter. Is he as well rounded? Maybe not. And he's the better striker, and he has.
Wait, hold on. You're saying Khaos might not be the more well-rounded fighter?
That's what I was going to say. I didn't word well-rounded enough because Andreas can win two different ways. He can grapple, and he has raw power. But Khaos is the better fighter in each one of those individual categories. He has power, fine, but he doesn't have the ability to shoot the takedown and get a submission. So Andreas technically has more ways to win, but Khaos is just better than Andreas in each sort of component there as an MMA fighter.
You're talking out both sides of your neck.
No, Andreas is more dangerous is where I'm going. Well, Khaos is known for his power. Andreas is more dangerous. I'm going to pick Khaos.
So
Khaos
stupid.
is...
It took him a round and a half of strikes to finish the guy in the last fight where he was just manhandling him against the fucking fence.
Contender Series is nerve-wracking. This is a full-size cage, too, which also works for Khaos and not on
his real name isn't Khaos. It's Quillan.
Who thought it was? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Also, Patchy's real name isn't Patchy. I had to ask Josh.
I just realized as I'm doing research that he's not Brazilian. I thought he was Brazilian.
Andreas? Gustafsson, Poha, $8,700 in DraftKings Fantasy for Khaos Williams. If you think he can get busy and finish Andreas, that's worth it. The problem is he's not going to offensively wrestle. So you're not going to get the 5 points for a takedown. You're not going to get the control time. It's going to be volume. If there's a finish, he's worth it. If there's not a finish, Khaos Williams might win this fight very clearly, but still only score 85 points, 65 points, something crazy like that. If you do want to unlock every single pick bet tool, if you want to see what the artificial intelligence has to say, if you want to check out the fight simulator, every single thing that we offer is available right now at WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It's $10. You unlock all of it, not only for this card, but UFC Atlanta next week, UFC Baku, and UFC 317 on the other side. WeWantPicks.com.
Do you pick your nose?
I don't.
You tell me you never pick a booger out of your nose.
If it's like right in the end, maybe it's like whoop, but I'll never
you never dig. You never dig and pick a booger out of your nose.
And I don't dig.
Everyone that digs up boogers out of the nose nearly daily, can you just type a 1 in the chat real quick?
While you're doing that, John Doe MMA sent $2 and said, I told you about my beautiful Wang long ago. He's talking about Cong Wang.
I already
read
that.
John Doe. Well, I didn't because my headphones made you sound like a robot. Look at all these fucking nose-picking basement dwellers. Jesus Christ.
It's a very normal activity. You got to get them out. You just wait until you're randomly just having a conversation and it just falls out.
I blow my nose. I don't have allergies.
Like, you can't just blow out these boogers. You got to. Some of them are like fucking like.
I don't have allergies.
I've spent 15, 25 minutes on one booger. Just been like it just in there and just.
I don't know why I have a nosebleed, Mama.
I've never had a nosebleed.
Okay, well that's a fucking. Turns out the lie detector test determined.
Type 5 in the chat if that's a fake picture. Let's see what happens here. Type a 5 in the chat if that's a fake picture that Angelo has.
I fucking bet.
That he's so proud of.
Here we go. Next up at Next up at UFC 316, we have a very interesting heavyweight matchup. This should not be a boring slug fight. We have Serghei Spivac taking on Waldo Cortes Acosta. Serghei Spivac, 17-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that finish loss to Jailton Almeida. He is taking on Waldo Cortes Acosta, 13-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. And he is on a 4-fight win streak. Yes, Jacob and I starred in a movie together with Waldo Cortes.
Did you mention that in your quick pick?
I did not.
I mentioned it in mine. Even gave a shout out. Burden of 9 Lives.
Burden of 9 Lives.
It's on Amazon. Go check it out. You think we're fucking lying? Go check it out right now. Everyone, right now, open up a new tab or get on your phone. Go to Amazon. Look up Burden of 9 Lives. Order it. Watch it. And you'll see us.
And then leave a comment that you watched it because of your boys.
Yeah.
So they know where the traffic came from. We are in a movie, quite literally, no exaggeration. We are in a movie with Waldo Cortes Acosta.
Somebody said I would pay to watch Angelo do jumping jacks. How much are you going to pay? He'll do them right now,
Yeah,
Billy.
I'll fucking do some jumping jacks. You out of your fucking mind? Like, the whole Angelo's short. First of all, Angelo's short. That's what's crazy. Angelo's fat. It really depends on what I'm wearing. But I've competed in things. I was an athlete for a period of time. Waldo Cortes Acosta and I are both very athletic. And the reason I like Waldo in this fight, spoiler alert, is the fact that he is an athletic guy. He is wildly athletic. He was a baseball player. Not that that really has any benefit in MMA, but the athleticism, the hand-eye coordination has all benefited him quite well in MMA. He's a fun athletic striker. He's tough as nails. We have seen his leg get absolutely chewed up, and he doesn't even flinch. He hasn't done the dancing mid-fight in a while, which is great, which means he's dialing in. He's honing it in. He's taking this very seriously. We've seen him out-strike people. We've seen him out-grapple people, including the 6'7" Olympian. He just knocked out Ryan Spann, where the size and the athleticism and the speed were on full display. He's taking on Serghei Spivac, a heavyweight grappler. Serghei striking is not very good, but he does have decent takedowns, good ground and pound if he gets it there. As much as I want to reverse time and go back and see when he fought Alexei Olenek and just that was the sloppiest, shittiest fight we've ever seen, he has buttoned it up since then. Serghei Spivac's a big dude, and if he gets the takedowns, it can be a problem for a lot of people. The reason he averages, though, around 5 takedowns per 15 minutes is because people stand up on him. He's coming off that loss to Jailton Almeida where they both had a takedown. And if you looked at Waldo's lone loss, his one and only loss in his career and the UFC, you'd be like, oh, Serghei Spivac's going to win this fight, because Waldo was taken down a few times and it was a problem for him. But that was 2023. And while that's only a few years ago, when you get somebody as big and as athletic as Waldo Cortes Acosta, somebody who's improving as quickly as him, you'll realize he should be good here. I have bet on Waldo. I put money on him. I bet on him to win this fight, and I do think he wins this fight. The reality is he is big as hell. He is fast as hell. He is athletic. He is tough, and I think he can keep this fight standing. If he weathers the early storm.
How
yes,
fast
sir.
is hell?
It's fat. I mean, you just one fucking. Can I get the keys? Boom, you're in hell. Doesn't take long.
Explain that.
Drunk driving, straight to hell. Yeah. How old's your daughter? Hell. Every time. Straight to hell. I'm picking Waldo Cortes Acosta. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, and athletic, and I am leaning on that athleticism more than almost anything else. I understand Serghei should be able to take him down. I'm leaning on the athleticism here. What do you think, Jacob?
Here's what I'll say about this fight. This feels like the Khaos Andreas fight, where it just seems like Spivac is not going to get those entries that he's going to get against Waldo, because Spivac, for his wrestling, isn't really a wrestler. Like, he's not shooting blast doubles, he's not shooting singles, that type of stuff. He wants to close the distance to the body locks, and he's one of those judo and trip type people. And if he gets those positions, he can take anybody down. I mean, you saw him, the first body lock he took with Jailton Almeida, a little whizzer kick, and just fucking tossed Jailton across the octagon and had some good control. Waldo, the difference is, if Khaos gets taken down by Andreas, I think Khaos can get back to the feet. I don't think he's going to really struggle. If Waldo gets taken down by Spivac, I don't really know if he's going anywhere, because Spivac was holding down Jailton pretty well. Jailton hit a couple like little sneaky sweeps that probably only Jailton can hit. I don't think Waldo's going to hit that type of shit. But just like I like Khaos to kind of keep the distance and the bigger cage and all this stuff against a guy like Andreas, who also doesn't really shoot those takedowns. He's more of a clinch, get you against the fence and work takedowns from there. Waldo with that jab, with that right hand, as long as he doesn't overextend too much into the clinch, because what I see a lot from, you see this a lot in heavyweights, and I see it with Waldo as well, is they're not afraid to throw heavy, because they throw heavy and their momentum will just kind of take them into the clinch. They'll kind of clinch a little bit and then they'll break away back to space. Well, Waldo, I'm telling you right now, don't do that against Serghei, because if you throw that big right hand and crash into the clinch, Serghei's going to grab that underhook and he's going to judo throw you, trip you, or do something. And if he gets on top of you, it's going to be a fucking problem. Now, Waldo's a tough dude. He might be able to survive, get to the second round. We'll see what happens. And if he keeps it on the feet, we've seen Spivac have some really big deficiencies in the striking. Like, once things start to not really go his way, he's in big trouble. And I think that's what's going to happen here, is that close the distance into the body lock against a guy like Waldo, who will... What the hell happened in your background?
What did I see? What happened in the background?
I thought there was like a red and yellow light or something. Or a red and blue light. Like, I thought there was a fucking like cop light or something.
No. I was reading the comments. Nothing's. The only thing I hear in the background is a dog bark.
Why is there screaming?
Children. Just loud. It's the summer.
But you mentioned the athleticism of Waldo. I think the footwork, the jab, the speed is going to keep Spivac at bay. And once it starts going downhill, where Waldo is working downhill and Spivac's kind of reeling a little bit, I think Waldo could be able to find a finish here. So the thing I'm looking at in this fight, let me look. Hold on, Angelo.
Khaos is ensuing. I didn't know it. Now the lights are on. I hear the kids are not asleep. And the dog is barking.
This fight does not go the distance at minus 190. Seems interesting, because it seems like if one way or the other, somebody's going to have some really good success here. Either Waldo is going to withstand the takedown, start steamrolling, go downhill, and Spivac's going to do what he does and kind of fade into striking and be in real big trouble, or Spivac's going to get him to the ground. And Spivac, when he gets people to the ground, is a finisher. I mean, he is pretty nasty when he gets on top of people. So I think there's some value there, minus 190. I might play that. We're going to be on the live stream probably Saturday. That'd probably be the live stream bet. But as a pick, I'm going Waldo, just because I don't think Spivac has like the dive at your ankles type of wrestling to get to Waldo. And he should be smart enough to understand to stay out of the clinches. So I'm going Waldo.
Weren't you texting me talking shit that I picked Waldo?
No, I said I couldn't believe that you didn't pick Spivac because he fucking is like you love those fucking wrestlers. So
all right, I do like wrestlers. I picked the other one when you said I can't believe you didn't pick the 3-time All-American. I was like, but I did, and then I realized I wrote the wrong name. Listen, you and I are on the same side. The athleticism I do think is the difference here. $7,900 in DraftKings Fantasy. I got to take a look at what he's done in decisions. I don't think he'll finish Spivac. So I got to see what he does in decisions, how many points he scores, because I don't see him shooting offensive takedowns. That would be sort of out of character for him in a matchup like this. So I'm going to take a look at that before I make a DraftKings Fantasy decision. But if you want to take a look what the optimizer has to say, what the simulator has to say, what BetSam and Artem have to say, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. $10. You unlock every single pick, every single bet, every single tool. There are no upsells. There's no cross-selling. There's no tiers. It is $10 for everything. And when I say $10, it's 10 flat, even. No surcharge, no bullshit. $10. We
type a 2 in the chat for Angelo if you're a premium member.
You know what is funny when we mentioned meeting people in real life? Almost every single person I meet, one of the first things out of their mouth is their premium member status. Like, oh, I'm a premium member. Some people will be like,
don't worry, Angelo, I'm a premium member.
Like literally.
Don't worry, Angelo.
And it's just
either
funny,
that
it's
or
like,
it's like, I'm not a I'm gonna become one. I'm gonna become one.
Literally, and I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like it's okay. Like you don't need to be a premium member. I get it. So it's just so funny that my incessant repeating of premium membership is just burned into people's brains.
You literally should get a T-shirt to wear around X that literally just says premium and it says WeWantPicks.com on the back. You should do that.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's my identity at this point. We do have a $1.99 super chat from Andres Alera. UFC 319 at Jacob at Angelo. Road trip. Hit the thumbs up. Is 319 Chicago? I would like to go to that one.
You wouldn't last a fucking second in Chirac. Angelo.
One of us grew up near a massive city, and the other one
fucking people
is afraid of large crowds. Listen,
I'm literally welcome in any hood. I've talked about this on the stream. Get this off the screen. I literally could walk into any hood, just strut in, be like, "Hey guys," and the second they got to know me, they would enjoy my presence. Anybody that knows me enjoys me. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes I push a lot of people away in my life, but anybody that knows me fucking thinks I'm the fucking shit. I know that.
I enjoy you for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes.
Okay. A couple other comments here. I'm betting on powder. I love this comment. He's talking about Serghei Spivac because I have called Jacob powder more than one time on this show, and it's always a very deep cut that a lot of people don't get. So I appreciate that comment.
Just because I got special powers.
Nope, that's not why. And then Aussie Battler said, the noises coming from Angelo's house is cooked. I can hear Tiffany struggling right now. It's 9:00 at night. My kids are not asleep. They usually are, but it is the summer. The dog's screaming for food. I don't know what
this is a comment from the same guy. An interesting question. We'd kidnap you in the hood and make Angelo pay the ransom. So my question is to you would be, what would be the max?
You don't negotiate with terrorists. You're very kidnappable too. So if I paid this one ransom, then anytime, you're rocking up to, Sprouts, whatever bullshit store you go to, Oshkosh, Bakosh, to get yourself some new overalls, anytime you go there, someone will just snatch you up with a pillowcase. So I can't, if I pay the ransom one time, I'm going to have to pay it every time. So I can't do it. Sorry.
What if it's like $500?
The problem is it's $500 this time. And then next time you're at Chuck E. Cheese's in the ball pit, and then somebody grabs you out of there. Now it's $700. Like, you can't negotiate with terrorists. You set the wrong expectation. You see what I'm saying?
I guess I don't disagree. It's a shame that you wouldn't fit in the van. So I mean, you got that going for you.
I'm safe.
You're the Ricky Gervais when he's walking by the walking by the playground and they're like Pito, and he's like nobody would kidnap you, you fat cunt. Fucking that's you. Hey, don't worry, nobody's coming after Angelo. Yeah, I do have to worry about it when I'm going out by myself. I'm a good looking young guy on the black market. If I'm being sold into human trafficking, I would bring a pretty penny. Angelo on the other hand, fuck no.
You can't negotiate with terrorists. Sorry. Also, nobody appreciated that Oshkosh Bagosh joke. That was fucking solid.
Tyrese Halliburton is from Oshkosh.
What is Oshkosh?
Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's where Oshkosh Bagosh started.
Oh, really? It's little kid clothes for everybody who didn't get it. That was a solid fucking joke. All right.
Somebody on this card's from Oshkosh, too. Who is it? I can't remember. Oh, it's your boy. That's where he wrestled at in college, Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oh, there we go.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Rob Dibble.
No. Next up at UFC 316, we have Azamat Murzakanov taking on Brinson Ribeiro. Azamat Murzakanov, undefeated, 14-0 in his career, but he's not the youngest guy in the world. He is coming off his 5th UFC win. He's taking on Brinson Ribeiro. 17-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's on a dose 2-fight win streak. Azamat Murzakanov is not a big dude. But in this division, he's making it work. He's got some legit power. He's fast. He's heavy-handed. He's got a knockdown in all 5 of those UFC fights. He's a good wrestler as well with solid ground and pound, but his hands have been so good lately, you don't even get to see the wrestling. He's coming off that knockout win over Alonzo Menafield where he looked sharp, but he got blasted before finding that finish in the second round. He's taking on Brinson Ribeiro. He's an offensive striker. He's got solid grappling himself. He likes to move forward, get his hands going, but he is very hittable. His takedowns are mediocre, but if a fight does end up on the ground, he's aggressive, and he hunts for submissions. He's dangerous on top and off of his back, and while Ribeiro has a pretty well-rounded offense, he does have a quit button, and if you put it on him, you can get him out of there. He's coming out that submission win over DR Nurgazai, where the striking and BJJ were clean, but the takedown defense was not. Murzakanov is a solid favorite on this card, but these odds are tightening. If I take a look at this next slide, he was minus 600 on Sunday. He's now minus 500. And while minus 500 is still pretty wide odds, they're not as wide as I think they should be, because the reality is when I saw Azamat get blasted by Alonzo Menafield, I was like, oh shit. But then he didn't back up. He didn't cower away. He didn't wilt. He went the other direction. He turned it into another gear, moved forward, and then got it done. Azamat Murzakanov is the pick, one of my most confident picks on the card. What do you think, Jacob?
Man, I like Azamat. I put a tweet out that was, kind of said in jest, and some people took it serious. But honestly, the way that he fights, I said that Azamat fights like a prime Conor McGregor. You talked about Ju Sung Yu, whatever his name is, was Conor McGregor. Azamat, honestly, fights like a fucking light heavyweight Conor McGregor. He does not fight like a Russian. He does not fight like a light heavyweight. He does not fight like his body type. He floats in and out of his pocket, and you can tell that every single person that he fights is surprised by the speed, accuracy, and power of his strikes. He is going to have, as you see it on the screen, a 10-inch reach disadvantage. In most of his fights, as a 5'10 light heavyweight, he is the shorter, stockier guy. But it is the speed of his footwork that allows him to get inside the pocket. You guys are going to be amazed at how fast he can enter and exit the pocket. He sets up the left hand beautifully with the jab, and when the left hand comes, it's like a fucking prime Conor McGregor down the pipe, and it smokes people. He can also smoke people just with that jab, and if he lands on Ribeiro is going night-night. He is going to sleep. I will say, though, something feels weird, and I know Angelo doesn't want to hear it, but it just feels like one of those meme type fights where Azamat's going to come in, look good, touch up this guy, and then Ribeiro's going to do something fucking wild and crazy and just get a random fucking KO he may not deserve. So I did play this fight. I played a little bit differently than some people. I'm taking Azamat. He is the better fighter, the better striker, but this guy, Brinson Ribeiro, sometimes just finds weird ways to find weird shots, and sometimes against a super technical guy and a wild guy, just like in that Jeka fight, we could see, Jeka could land some fucking crazy shit Obviously, you don't want to typically bet something like that. There is a reason why Azamat is minus 600, minus 500. He can't eat a shot. Obviously, he starts to slow down as fights go on. But even when he's slowing down against Dustin Jacoby, he was slowing down, but he was landing. That's another big long, and that's a technical striker as well. Had some good success. Was dropping Dustin. He was slowing down, but he's not like a slow down and all of a sudden he's in trouble and it's like, oh shit, like this guy's gonna fucking quit or something. He can slow down and still kind of work through the fight. And it's not like Ribeiro is like gonna like build as the fight goes on either. He's kind of a first round guy anyway. But I'm taking Azamat here. Honestly, he should win by knockout. His speed is something else, but I played this fight a little bit different.
I hear you. I'm confident in him, and Brenson's last win was nice. He was a massive underdog, but it was a fraud check win. He fought a dude who wasn't nearly as good as the
It was a bullshit Kimura too. I mean, he fucking was on his back and found a Kimura. It's like, okay, it's like, all right. He did find a knockout. I mean, or a knockdown in that fight too, but
it was just clear that that dude wasn't who everybody said he was. Where Azamat has shown us he is who people say he is. He's 5-0 in the UFC at this level.
And once he fucking cracks somebody, he fucking.
There's no letting off the gas.
Yeah, you're talking about working downhill. One of the reasons why he slows down is because he will fucking chase a finish.
And that is a concern. Like, good on you, right? Chase a finish. He's finding finishes. He's 14-0. It is. He wouldn't be the first person we saw. Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo just did that. Last pay-per-view. So I,
and we both sat there and watched. I think I was streaming that fight, or we were watching it together or something against Tafon, where he was just like throwing that knee and throwing that knee and throwing that knee. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's not working, dude. Like, what are you doing? All of a sudden, third round, boom, he fucking lands the knee. It's like, Jesus Christ. So he'll fucking stick with it. If he has a read, he'll stick with it.
Yeah, I mean, Azamat Murzakanov is one of my more confident picks. I do think he finds a finish. Brenton Ribeiro does have a quit button. We have seen him quit before. If he was like a insanely durable guy, then we'd have a different conversation here. He's been finished before. We've seen him finished in the UFC. I think Azamat finds a finish, gets it done. I do think $9,600 in DraftKings Fantasy is worth it. And if you do want to check out every single pick, every single bet, every single tool that we offer on the website, it's available now. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member. It's $10 for an entire month. Not a week, not an event, an entire month's worth of access. You'll get everything top to bottom. No upsells, no tiers. WeWantPicks.com. Next up, at UFC 316, we have the featured prelim of the evening. We have Bruno Silva taking on Joshua Van. This is the small Bruno Silva, not the one that had his head caved in just a few weeks ago. Bruno Silva is 14-6 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that knockout loss to Manel Kopp. He's taking on Josh Van, 13-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's on a 3-fight win streak. This is a tale of two fighters. Bruno Silva is not a very technical fighter, but he has power in his hands, and he will find submissions. He'll move forward. He fights like a maniac. He's got solid power. He has strong wrestling. He has nasty submissions, but it's not clean. He doesn't set up his submissions. He finds them in scrambles. He doesn't set up the power. He just bombs away. Bruno Silva is insanely dangerous on all fronts in an MMA fight. He managed to string together 4 finish wins before his last fight. He's coming off that loss to Manel Kopp where the technique was just not there, but we saw the toughness. It was on full display. He's taking on Josh Van. I said a tale of two fighters because Joshua Van's on the other side of that spectrum. He is very technical, very clean, very composed for a young kid. He's a solid striker. He's got a good amount of aggression. He has okay power, nothing too crazy, but what he does have is composure. He'll defend the takedowns. He'll get his hands going. He doesn't put himself in bad positions. He puts together a nice resume for himself outside of that one knockout loss. He does a really good job looking for things in scrambles, making people work. He did just beat 2 very good wrestlers in a row, most recently Rai Tsura. Bruno Silva's tough. He's aggressive. But the progress that Joshua Van at 24 years old makes between fights is absolutely insane. So watching Joshua Van be better after every single fight makes me think that he's going to win this fight. Now, minus 700 odds, 7-1, or sorry, somebody DM'd me and said, hey, you always say 7-1. It's 1-7. So 1-7, I don't think so. It just seems pretty wide for me. Joshua Van should win this fight. He's very technical. He's very clean. He's going to be the better fighter. But I don't necessarily think he's going to be worth the money at this price point. Josh Van is the pick. Bruno Silva is going to be swinging wild, and you're going to be clinching your ass cheeks. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, these and I've been I'm always honest with the people, Angelo. I know that, sometimes you kind of dance around this and that, and you try to do this and that, but I'm always honest with the people. I've been a Joshua Van hater. And I've came around on Joshua Van, and I've accepted the fact that Joshua Van is a very, very good fighter. Very well-rounded everywhere. Has shown toughness, even though he got dropped and finished versus Charles Johnson and dropped against Edgar Chairez. He worked out that situation. He's a very good fighter. He's probably the better fighter in this fight. These rounds are going to be close. These rounds are going to be close. I know people want to play... I think somebody on Twitter or something tagged me and was like, or maybe in the comments, I was like, Bruno Silva plus 3.5 because Joshua Van always drops the first round. He's kind of cleaned that up. I think he's coming off a few 30-27s and stuff like that. So I'd kind of stay away from that. I know people in the chat are talking about inside the distance decisional action. I already played that. Premium members got that at plus 300. It's plus 230 now and dropping. I like that play because Bruno Silva is a fucking dog. People are going to see the TKO. Oh, he got finished by Manel Kape. First of all, Manel Kape is styled on him the entire fight. But if you watch the last minute 30 or 2 minutes before he got TKO'd, he was fucking, this guy goes for it. And I told you against Cody Durden that Cody Durden's probably going to have so much success in the striking because Bruno is a hittable guy that he's going to get knocked out after the fact. That's exactly what happened. And just like Manel Kape was having success, Bruno started just fucking bombing back because this guy's an absolute fucking dog. And that TKO was fucking bullshit. He got kicked in the nuts and then TKO'd against the fence, and I don't know what the fuck Keith was looking at, but he literally got kicked in the nuts. It is what it is. He was getting the shit beat out of him that fight, but he was not going to get finished unless he got kicked in the nuts. Joshua Van doesn't have a ton of finishes, doesn't have a ton of power. He's going to be my pick because he is the better fighter, but my God, if you have him at parlays, like Angelo said, at minus 700, if you're playing him straight up, even if you got him at minus 350, minus 400, I'm telling you, these rounds are going to be close. And if Bruno stings this guy, he's going to fucking not get stung. He might get fucking knocked out again. So I have my money on Bruno inside the distance decisional action. My pick is Joshua Van. He's the better fighter, but mother of God, I cannot imagine putting money on Joshua Van at minus 700 because these rounds are going to be fucking close and Bruno is a fucking dog. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck's Angelo going. Let's get a topic to talk about. By the way, like the stream if you haven't already. If you guys are just joining us, Angelo's birthday is tomorrow. I think he went to go maybe tuck in his dick for these jumping jacks. I don't know what's going on. He's going to fuck up the audio again maybe. I don't know, but we're dialed in, ready for these jumping jacks.
Speaking of, $10 super chat from my biggest fan, 20 jumping jacks. Is this 20 like 1, 2, 3, 1?
You just do 20. You're not going to survive something like that.
Hold on.
These are for your birthday.
A very tall person. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20.
Now do a premium pitch right now. Let's see how out of breath you are. Go.
If you want more content like that, if you want to find out if my picks are as good as my jumping jacks, just go to Are you doing an ET voice?
Keep talking. Don't try to catch your breath. Let's go. Keep talking.
I'm not. If you want to find out if my picks are as good as my jumping jacks, go to WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It is only $10.
The only reason I know that, and I'll let you catch your breath. is because I'll be on the live stream. I'll be on the live stream Saturdays, and I'll do a bunch of wild shit, and then I got to sit down and keep talking, and I'm always trying to hide the fact that I can't fucking breathe after I do some wild shit. So I knew for a fact at the 20 jumping jacks, if you went right into a fucking pitch, you were going to fucking start gasping.
It's not easy because I was like pushing air out. I was like, I need air in. I need air in.
Oh, I get it. I've been there. Every Saturday I'm doing some wild celebratory shit, and then I gotta hide the fact that I can't fucking breathe. I'll be like I'm trying to catch my breath. They're like, who's that in the stands? Like pretending. Yeah, like I'm pretending like I'm trying to. Wait, what are they saying right? I'll be like fake listening to the commentary. Hold on, what's Felder saying right now?
I tried so hard too. I was like, I could hide it. It's just not that big of a deal.
Because I know. I literally knew. I literally have been there.
Oh shit. This
you need
guy
another
said,
minute or something?
No, I'm good. This guy said, what movie are Angelo and Jacob in? It's called The Burden. That last one was a joke. It's called The Burden of 9 Lives. The producer reached out, said, I love the show. Do you guys want to be in this movie? I said, of course we do. So Vega put us in his movie. And now we're in the movie. It's a great movie. People watched it. We were getting all sorts of clips in the Discord of the pieces that Jacob and I are in, which is pretty funny. We're in a couple different scenes, and it's like long. I thought we would be like a quick little transition. It's not quick.
It's like a whole
segment. Yeah. Check it out. Burden of 9 Lives. And after you watch it, leave a review. And I was here for Jacob and Angelo. Listen, this is the intermission. And without the intermission, there wouldn't be a pitch for the /bets $50 promo. If you go to WeWantPicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our affiliate partners. We're going to get paid. And when we get paid, no, that's the alcohol. That's not the catching of the breath. That's the hiding of the carbonation.
That's what I thought.
WeWantPicks.com/bets. If you go there, you will see some affiliate links. If you use one of those affiliate links and you sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, we will send you $50 as a thank you. That's because they are going to pay us, and we'll slice off some of that money and give it right back to you. WeWantPicks.com/bets. You should also stick around the website for a little bit. Check out what else we have to offer. We have a whole bunch of tools. I know most of you are here for the bets. You want to hear about the lock of the week. You want to see what's the safety parlay. Big Ange's safety parlay is 7-1 in the last 8. It's got to be hitting this week, right? Maybe. I can't guarantee it, but I'll brag about it after the fact. But it's not just copy-paste bets. We also have tools. One of those tools is the Fight Simulator. I have specifically been using it to win prize picks and underdog fantasy entries. And if you've been following along since I've been showing you how to use it to win those things, you'll see that it's been slapping. We also have a tape index. Some of you like to do your own research. Maybe we're just part of your research. Maybe you don't care about us at all, but you somehow caught this clip and you like to watch the tape yourself on mute, no less, because you don't want to hear the commentators. You just want to watch the fights and take your notes. Well, the time that you will save from searching fights, we have them all linked up, ready to go. A full fight history for every fighter. How they won, who they beat, all the information. And if there's a red play button, you click that button, the fight pops up, you get to watch it. We have a DraftKings optimizer that not only does all the things that an optimizer does, it also has a brand new beginner mode. And in that beginner mode, it will ask you a series of normal, logical questions instead of expecting you to know how to use it. It'll ask you things like, who's your confident favorite? Who's your favorite underdog? A couple answers later, it'll build lineups for you. Everything we offer is available inside of an app. You don't need an app. I've been promoting the app so well, and we have so many downloads that a lot of people think you need the app. You don't need the app. It's available to you. It's something you can use. What the fuck is this autism retard doing? He's just leaning over going, are you playing with Legos? Is your dog down there at least?
Yeah, my dog actually enjoys me, and like
it doesn't scream for help in the background.
Yeah, just scream the entire time. So
I have 2 dogs. One of them enjoys me. The other one doesn't enjoy anyway. Just wants food. If you have the app, great. You'll get push notifications. If you don't, that's fine. Everything that we offer is available in any mobile browser you could ever think of and a regular desktop. If you sign up now, you'll have access to not just UFC 316, but UFC 317 as well, and the 2 very good fight nights in between. Here's a look at that safety parlay. I mentioned 7-1 in the last 8. That's not an easy thing to do, not in this sport. Look at UFC Vegas 107. Look at the catastrophe that card was. Beacon of stability, though. Not my fault Aaron Blanchfield didn't get the fight, but it is my fault
that Lock of the Week lost because of a fucking spider bite.
That is funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm laughing it up.
Look
at me laughing.
Okay.
Have you ever done the Spider-Man kiss with anybody?
No, I've never hung out upside down in the rain before, so no.
Sucks to suck.
316 and 317 are pay-per-views, and for pay-per-views, we watch fights. We hang out, we cook food, we do things. 316 vlog's going to be a little weird. 317 vlog's going to be awesome. I'm going to go to Vegas for half of it and then back home for the other half. And we will read fan mail, and we'll open whatever you want to open. Somebody sent me a DM. I'm not going to say anything just yet, but hey, I wrote this book. Can I send it? Of course you can. You send it. We'll talk about it. We'll open it on the vlog. We want picks. P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas 75078. And UFC 317, I will be there. I'll be there with the wife. If you see me, say hi. I'll buy you a drink. Straight up, premium member or not. We appreciate literally every last one of you, because without the thousands of you that watch these videos, we ain't got shit. So thank you for all of it. I'll buy you a drink. It's the least I could do. See you there. Opening up the UFC 316 main card, we have an interesting matchup between Vicente Luque and Kevin Holland. Vicente Luque is 23-10 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that finish win over Temba Garimbo. He's taking on Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision win over Gunnar Nelson. He is also almost 500 at 27-13. Well, I know that math wasn't anywhere near almost 500, but both these gentlemen are in very similar spots as far as their records are concerned. Not a lot of success lately, but just enough to keep them alive. Lots of wins, couple of losses, quality wins, couple of quality losses. Both of these guys are very, very good fighters. And you would think that there's a huge age discrepancy between the two, because Vicente Luque has been around forever, but there is not. He's only 33 years old to Kevin Holland's 32. But Vicente Luque has fought some of the best people in this division, multiple former world champions. He's pretty good everywhere. He's got power in his hands. He's got solid wrestling defense, fantastic submissions if it gets to the ground. At the end of the day, he's a striker. He's looking to bang it out on the feet, but he can work towards other things. He's been fighting some of the highest level of competition for the last 10 years. Most recently, and this isn't the highest level of competition, but most recently he knocked out Temba Garimbo. And I know it's going to show up as a submission, but the 2 strikes that he landed is what set that up. He's taking on Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is all the things. He's a great striker. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He also has no takedown defense whatsoever. He doesn't take his career seriously. Kevin Holland is an impossible guy to break down, because you don't know what version of him you are going to get. Are you going to get the guy that can be good everywhere? Or are you going to get the guy that's just doing wild shit? No care whatsoever in the world. He's got great striking, great accuracy, great range management, but also horrendous, miserable, the worst takedown defense you've seen at this level. He's coming off that decision win over Gunnar Nelson, where the BJJ was slick and the striking almost got it done. And this is a weird fight for me to break down, because I'm a giant Kevin Holland fan, and I have picked Kevin Holland in more fights than I've not. But now I'm finding myself, even with him coming off that win over Gunnar, where I believe he was a dog and I definitely picked him, I find myself in a position where it's like, I can't keep picking this guy. I picked him to beat Gunnar Nelson, because Gunnar Nelson also doesn't give a shit about his career. He shows up once every couple of years in London for a payday. That's where Gunnar Nelson is. And I know this time around he was like, oh, I take it seriously. It's no bullshit. He shows up once every few years.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. He said that.
Bullshit.
He said that to my daughter. But my daughter's like, I just want to say goodnight, Casey and Jacob.
Let me give the full story. First of all, I go over to Angelo's
sweetest girl,
and I have a good time. Right, I hit the vape pen a little bit. I'm just hanging out for whatever reason. When I get a little bit high, I like to just say, "Oh bullshit!" Oh bullshit! Every time somebody says anything, I'll just say, "Oh bullshit!" and it becomes a thing in during the night. Like even Casey will randomly try to bait me, and he'll be go, "Oh bullshit!" and I'll be like, "Oh bullshit!" So then we're all sitting there, and I'm a little bit at this point. What's the two sheets to the wind? What's a fucking
Yeah, that's it. 2 sheets to the wind.
I mean, I'm just fucking whatever. Little girl walks in and it's, hey, and you're like, what's going on? And Tiffany's like, oh, she just go ahead. She's like, I just want to come in and say good night. So what
Sweet
do I
as
do?
could be.
Yeah, I just want. She's like, it's like the little Whoville girls, right? The little So she said, I just want to say good night. She's standing there, and I just go, oh bullshit. And I thought it was the funniest shit in the world. And she just kind of like just walks out of the room with her head down. It literally just comes out, I just wanted to say good night, Daddy. I just go, oh bullshit.
That's the nice one too. The younger one would have just fucking slapped in your mouth and said, "We don't talk like that."
Yeah, she does scare me. She does scare me.
The nice one just put her head down and walked away. Listen, I can't be picking Kevin Holland at this point. I just can't. I love the guy. He's got all the talent in the world. You just don't know.
Things have changed in Angelo's life to where
you just don't know what version of Kevin Holland is going to show up. Even in his last fight, he's hanging. He's being held up. He's hanging. And he should have destroyed Gunnar Nelson, and he was this close to actually doing it. Kevin Holland is a spectacular fighter, but you cannot rely on him. Kevin Holland at 170 is different than Kevin Holland at 185 because he has to be in the gym to make the weight. I am going to pick Vicente Luque here. If this was Vicente Luque from 2 years ago, this is a no-brainer. Vicente Luque now is a little questionable, but what's Kevin Holland going to do? I don't see him knocking out Vicente. Kevin Holland's not going to initiate any wrestling. So now we have a situation where Vicente, if he's losing the striking, has a wrestling backup plan because Kevin Holland's takedown defense sucks and has not improved whatsoever. Vicente Luque is going to be my pick. Very low confidence in that. And I love Kevin Holland, so I can't possibly bet against him. Kevin Holland is one of my favorite fighters. I enjoy watching Kevin Holland. Vicente Luque is the pick. What do you think, Jacoby?
First of all, I want to shout out D that's in the chat. One of my good friends. D in the chat. Me and him talk often. He happens to be.
Have you met D? How do you know that's his? How do you know that's his profile?
Happens to be happens to be a black man, but it's kind of beside the point. I'm picking Kevin Holland now. To bet on Kevin Holland is insane, and I said that. And I should have listened to myself. I've been saying it for the last year that betting on Kevin Holland is absolutely insane. And then I saw this guy, RDR, and I'm like, oh, Kevin Holland's going to fucking beat. Like, look at this guy. Like, fucking look at this guy. This sloppy fucking dude. Kevin Holland's going to smoke this guy. And I made Kevin Holland my lock of the week. Whoops on that. That was not a very good pick. And at this point, anybody that acts like they know what the fuck is going on in a Kevin Holland fight, all the experts in the world, and Angelo broke down the fight. I'm not going to break down this fucking fight. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen in a Kevin Holland fight. I'm going to take Kevin Holland because it seems at 170 he's a little more dialed in. So Kevin Holland's going to be my pick. I'll never bet him again. That's as simple as it is. If you think you know what's going to happen in this fight, you're a fucking liar. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You don't know what the fuck is ever going to happen in a Kevin Holland fight. That's the truth of the matter. I'm taking Kevin Holland to get it done. I don't know how he does it. He might not.
Yeah, I mean, good for you, I suppose. I'm obviously on the Vicente Luque side. I'm not going to bet it, though, because Kevin Holland is unbelievably talented. Whether he actually does something with that talent or not is the issue. That's the concern. We just don't quite know what is going to happen there. But Kevin Holland is going to be fun to watch in every fight that he's in. Vicente Luque is going to be my pick because I'm not betting money, to your point, on Kevin Holland. I'm also not going to bet money on Vicente Luque, who says he's 33, but we might have a Jose Aldo situation here where he's actually...
bullshit!
I've been saying Jose Aldo's old as shit for years. And then 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden he does an interview and he says, I'm 5 years away from being 50. He's listed at 38 in the UFC. That is a 7-year difference.
The way that he was fighting at 45 is way more impressive than whatever the fuck Yoel was doing at his age. Like, people are like, yes. Oh my God, this guy's 40 and he's fucking just standing there. Aldo was fucking fast as shit. He looked fucking incredible. And it's like, holy shit, this guy 45 years old. Oh my God.
I 100% agree. It's insane. Even
everyone
his last
in the
fight,
chat right now, guess how old Angelo's going to be tomorrow.
Dude,
Let's see the
Bet Sam
numbers.
made some fucking dumbass
let's see
comment
the
a few
numbers.
weeks ago that I was 50, and now people say that.
Put two numbers in the chat. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to put how old do you think Angelo's going to be tomorrow, and how much older do you think Angelo is than me? Go.
Or just list both our ages. What the fuck? Vicente Luque, $7,400 in DraftKings Fantasy. Listen, Linda. If he gets a decision here, a close decision, he probably has to get a few takedowns, which scores pretty well. Then he scores a 30 bonus points for getting a decision win. $7,400 makes some sense for Vicente. Kevin Holland at $8,800. Quite a high price point there. Talent-wise, makes sense. Execution-wise, not quite sure. I am going to be on the Vicente Luque side if you want to check out everything that we offer. I mean, he was in college. He's 22. That is fucking tough, dude.
Actually, he looks good with the...
Once he shaved the head and grew the beard out, he looked spectacular. But 22 is young.
He looks way better than you. Dropped some weight, too. I mean, if that's not an inspiration,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, all right. We want picks.com. Become a premium member.
Just at some point, just dial it in and just surprise everyone. But literally... I mean, we had a chance. You had a chance to win. $500.
How about let me enjoy my birthday? How about you let me enjoy my birthday and then you can get
How about
back
you
in
could
the
have made
fat jokes
$500?
next week?
You said that you were going to, and then you're like, I never said it.
I literally never said I was going to. I said I'm traveling for work and I'm not going to do some.
How about we weigh you right now, and then we'll weigh you next year on your birthday, and let's see what's going on. Get the scale. I'll entertain the people. Let's go get the scale.
No, we're not doing that. We're not too far off from having to go to the zoo. Listen, we have a $2 super chat. I don't know what the fuck this means. It says, hasn't been a steal since Whaley. I don't know what this means. I appreciate the $2 super chat. If you want to add context, I'll keep an eye out for it, and we'll comment on it. I don't know what this means, but thank you. We do have this comment that I want to dispute. I looked a little distracted the last 30 seconds, it's because I sent a push notification to the app. Peanut said, push notifications don't work in the app, by the way. Guess what, motherfucker? Here's a push notification from the app that I just sent, and it says we are live breaking down the main card of UFC 316. Join us on YouTube and tell Peanut. See where it says tell Peanut? I don't know how else to prove that the app works. I can touch the button, and it went ahead, and now it's opening the app. Bingo, bongo, app's open. So there you go.
Can I start having access to push some notifications?
To send them?
Yeah.
I would love if you did, because I have to send them when you place bets, and it's a fucking headache.
Because I would like to maybe what could be fun.
Hey, and who's single? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't send stuff like that. But I'm thinking about like when I'm over fight nights watching pay-per-views, it's like Angelo's on his third box to
just updates.
Angelo has opened up his ninth seltzer.
Well, I just drink regular seltzer.
They're LaCroix. I will give you credit. You haven't fallen asleep in the co-main event of a card in a while.
It's because I don't drink alcohol on fight nights anymore because I have to film the recap videos.
Because I used to control your vices.
No, because there's no point. When you and I were watching fights in the media room before the podcast existed. Yeah, well, Casey's the day one. And Bo. It was the four of us.
My favorite nights were just us.
Me too. And when we didn't have a podcast. There was nothing to film after the fact, so there was no recap to do. So I was able to get after it. That's no longer reality.
Chalkboard going.
Yeah, remember when Jen did the beautiful lettering on the chalkboard, and we had the bets going? Those were the good old days.
We would just draft a fighter for each for the main card, one fighter each. Have a little.
Yeah,
draft.
we had the alternate. Yeah, that's right. We bet
draft.
Each fight. Yeah, good old days, man.
Yeah, man, and now it's like,
get a pick wrong, and you're a fucking dumbass loser, and you should jump off a bridge. And the energy's not great. The energy's not great.
Well, I mean, you've kind of moved on from my friendship. It feels very.
I invite you to every single thing that we do
these days. I mean, I was
holiday and otherwise. It is one way.
Today wasn't getting the text back today, and just kind of feel unwanted sometimes.
I have been grinding today because I need to be a week ahead. You've got this
one guy. God, what the fuck is his name? Jesus Christ, the Josiah or what the fucking I don't know what his name is, but
Jeremy.
You got that one guy that you're doing the videos with. Sometimes now you're doing live streams with them, and it just feels like
it's the same video.
I don't know if we're gonna make it through the summer.
Well, I invited you over, and you hung out with your mother instead. And then I was like, "Oh, for this card, 317, I'll be home." You're like, "I'm probably gonna stream." That's the problem.
I owe it to these people.
No, you owe it to me. The friendship. Listen, Aaron said I was at UFC 303. I met both of you guys. I saw you both, but Jacob was standing behind Angelo. So I told you it's a height thing.
Yo, D, I will be in Atlanta. Yo, my hotel is like 7 minutes from Magic City. I literally think we're going to Magic City. Angelo's been.
What's Magic City?
Yeah, what? Oh, I don't know what Magic City is. What's Magic City? Oh,
Straight up, what's Magic City?
well, I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, what is that, guys? Oh.
I'm just thinking of famous magicians. Is that where they are?
Oh, yeah.
Chris
magicians.
Angel?
There is some things. I'll fucking disappear this dick into something in Magic City.
Is it do they have their own currency?
Honestly,
are there beaver bucks there?
You would love Magic City, and not even because it's a very well-known strip club. Yeah, it's known for having incredible food. Their wings are like known for. Lou Williams got in trouble because he like missed a flight or he missed a practice. And people were like, "Where were you at?" And he's like, "I was at Magic City getting fucking wings." Like a fucking
so funny.
So it like it's like the most well known. Like
it'd be funny if they're on Uber Eats and they deliver your wings, and then like a little pouch of glitter that you could sprinkle and stuff when you're done. That's a good joke. Next up at UFC 316, we have Mario Batista taking on Patchy Mix. Mario Batista, public enemy number 1 right now, but he is 15-2 in his career. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He is on a 7-fight win streak. He's taking on Patchy Mix, 20-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, making his UFC debut. This is a brand new matchup. Mario Batista was supposed to fight Chito Vera. Chito Vera got hurt, so he dropped out. And instead of just slapping together some random bullshit, the UFC went out and they scooped up probably the biggest prospect in this division that is not signed by them, and they got Patchy Mix. What was surprising to me, though, is I was scrolling Instagram the other day, and I saw that Chito Vera just ran a marathon. And maybe it was an old picture that he just posted, but that motherfucker just ran a marathon. How are you so hurt you can't fight, but you can run a marathon? Maybe it's a shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah, you fucking dumbass. You could have a broken hand and run a fucking marathon. Are you fucking stupid or something?
What was the injury?
Obviously, it wasn't a broken foot, you shit-brained retard.
It said hip.
Did it really say hip, though?
Yes.
Are you just making something up?
I'm making it up. Did you ever see that clip of when Dave Portnoy is interviewing or he's doing like his own Shark Tank thing? Like, do you need investments in your business? And who's the big dude? The fat Mets fan? What's his name?
Oh, he's almost down to,
he lost 180 pounds. Yeah.
He almost weighs less than you, dumbass.
Well, he's 300 pounds. And then he was standing in front of Portnoy and somebody else. I don't know who the other person was. And he was asking for money for his business, whatever. And he's like, what do you need the money for? He's like, a website. I got a website, whatever. They're like, how much? He's like, at least 100,000. And Dave's like, did you just make that up? He's like, I did. He goes, okay. I thought so. That's exactly what just happened with the hip injury. I just made that shit up. So
if you removed his loose skin, he would weigh less than you. And you're sitting here calling him a fat piece of shit or whatever you called him.
I didn't call him a fat piece of shit. I said the fat guy.
Well, he's fat and he's a so he's a piece of shit.
He was he was 500 pounds. He lost 200 pounds just going for walks. Crazy. Anyway, Mario Batista, public enemy number 1, as I mentioned. That's because he just beat Jose Aldo. The reality is he is a decent striker. He's got some pretty good volume for the most part. He's got a give one, get one kind of style. He sets a good pace. He'll plot forward. He's light on his feet. He'll stick around. That wasn't the game plan, though, for Jose, right? With Jose, he pushed him against the cage and just held him there the entire time. But if we remove that fight from the equation, Mario Batista is a decent striker, primarily a striker, but he does have 12 takedowns in his last 7 fights. He is coming off that decision that I don't agree with. And frankly, if we zoom out, Jose Aldo won his last 2 fights. And all of a sudden, this is a very different world. Patchy Mix is his opponent. It might be a new name for a lot of you, but for those of you who watch Bellator, may be familiar with him. He is a 3-time, I believe, Bellator world champion. not only did he win the Bellator tournament, he went on to win the actual belt and then defend it a handful of times. And he didn't lose the belt. He asked for his release after PFL bought Bellator and couldn't pay him what his contract said he should be paid. Style-wise, he's a nasty grappler. He'll not only get the takedowns, but he will hunt for submissions as well. He's long, he's lean, he uses that length to wrap you up. And in his 20-fight career, or his 21-fight career, his 20 wins, he has 15 finishes. 13 of those 15 finishes are by submission. He's obviously a very dangerous grappler. This is a win-win if you're the UFC, because either Patchy comes in here, smokes Mario Batista, who's not the most exciting guy, and now you have a brand new, fresh blood in the division, or he loses. And you get to continue to brag about the fact that everybody outside the UFC sucks, including dominant world champions. The reality is that I do think Patchy Mix can win this fight. He's very good. He's fought a very high level of competition. He's fought 25-minute fights many times over. That lone loss is, tricky and a weight adjustment kind of loss. But the reality is Patchy Mix can get it done. He is famous for Tatiana Suarez, his boyfriend. He's famous for his submission wins, and he is a very exciting guy. I love the addition to the weight class. I think he can get it done. And Jacob forgot his name, but I didn't really quite know who Patchy Mix was. I had to do the research, and 2 weeks ago I filmed a video with Josh, who is Patchy Mix. And Josh worked for Bellator, so he was very familiar with who Patchy Mix was. And when we filmed that video, he went on and on and on and on about how great Patchy is. And I'm buying into the hype. So I'm on the Patchy Mix side. I do think he gets it done. And I do have a parlay with him in it. What I like to do is I take my most confident picks, put them in a parlay, and then take my confident but not as confident picks and put them in a separate parlay. Patchy is in the second parlay. While I do think he wins this fight, I recognize Mario is good. And I also recognize this is a UFC debut on somewhat short notice. So Patchy's going to be the pick. I think the grappling is going to be the difference here, but it should be a very interesting fight. What do you think, Jacoby?
Yeah, obviously I was very high on Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista because I said he's not going to be able to strike with Aldo and he's not going to be able to take Aldo down. Both of those things were absolutely very much true.
Literally
and somehow they gave the decision to Mario Batista. The good news is, and the reason why I bet on Patchy Mix, and I pray to God it's true, is that Mario Batista is not going to be able to stall against Patchy Mix. You can't stall against Patchy Mix. He is hunting for something at all times. So this whole Mario to survive and just hang on a hip and just head on the outside, no matter where he puts his head, on the outside, on the inside, no matter where he tries to hide his neck, if he's trying to stall, even if he gets a takedown against Patchy Mix, this guy threatens from everywhere. He's threatened the guillotine. He'll reach over and try to grab the guillotine. He'll probably threaten a ninja choke. On the ground, he's threatening a ninja or a guillotine on a takedown attempt. He'll do all these things to make sure that Mario Batista cannot stall. And if Mario Batista isn't stalling, he's not winning. He just doesn't get in these opportunities where he is winning exchanges. He stalls to win fights, and I pray to God that Patchy is a guy that is not going to let him stall, is going to threaten the shit and do enough to win this fight or find a finish. What I do like about Patchy as well is he fought that guy Magomed, found a guillotine, beat him. In the rematch, he was trying to chase those same guillotines, but when he was not getting the guillotines, he was scrambling back to his feet. It was a guillotine, hold on to it, okay, I'm not going to get it, let it go, boom, hips out, reach under, grab a single, whatever it is, get back to the feet and reset. And against Mario Batista, that's what you got to do. Just don't let him lay on you. Don't let him stall against the fence. Patchy should be able to do enough to the striking. Mario's not a dangerous guy. He's a capable striker, but so is Patchy. Eventually, Mario is either going to have to shoot a shot, or Patchy is just going to shoot a takedown, initiate that scramble, and if the scrambles start happening, from what I've seen, Patchy should win the scrambles, and he's a pretty confident guy as well. I mean, he's got the 5-round cardio, but you saw him in the Embedded this week talk about, like, I'll fucking submit him and his whole fucking team. Like, this guy's a fucking joke. He's calling Mario Batista a journeyman. I don't know if he actually is or not, but I hope Patchy is who he says he is, who everyone says he is. I hope he is in the mix and becomes a guy in this, and I think Mario Batista is a good matchup for him. Somebody that's not going to come in with crazy pressure or take his head off or be able to has crazy control. He's a guy that just kind of hangs around. If you hang that neck around Patchy, He knows what to do with it. So I'm on Patchy here, but I'm also kind of a Mario Batista hater, which is kind of funny because Mario seems like a good guy. He's a good, decent guy, working hard.
And he did what he needed to do to
yeah,
beat a
I mean,
legend.
he's winning, he's cashing checks and all that stuff. So I don't hate him for it, but obviously the style is pretty boring, and I think Patchy can threaten enough to win this fight.
Yeah, and the reality is, I don't know why I said the reality is. That's a weird transition. I saw Patchy. Jacob and I went to UFC Vegas 101 in January. I saw Patchy there. He walked in with he's dating Tatiana Suarez. They're basically married. They're not actually married.
And somebody said too, I've seen a couple times be like, "Oh, he's going to get exposed like Tatiana." Mario Batista is not fucking Wei Li. Tell you that. So.
Yeah, and did Tatiana get exposed? Like she lost to one of the best
just
to
like
ever do it.
Yeah, and she's a
like,
wrestler that can't really do anything off her back and stuff like that, where Patchy can do pretty much anything.
Yeah, and I saw them at Apex. The way the Apex works is there's only one way in and one way out for the most part. So everybody just walks in the front door, no matter how big they are. And Tatiana and Patchy just sort of walked in. I was walking past them. He's fucking big, dude. For 135, he's skinny, but he's tall. He's very tall, and he's long, and he uses that. I think he wins. Jacob thinks he wins. $8,500. We might be getting the UFC debut discount. And if he does find himself a finish here, he'll be well worth that money. So I will have some DraftKings fantasy lineups with him in it. If you want to check out everything else that we offer, WeWantPicks.com. We have picks, we have bets, we have tools. We have an artificial intelligence. We have 4 human beings breaking down fights and giving you picks and bets. We have an optimizer that builds DraftKings fantasy lineups for you. We have a fight simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times and gives you all.
Oh my God, just fucking move on. Come on.
WeWantPicks.com. If you click remember, you'll unlock all of it.
2.5 hours.
Instantly. Yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of the bullshit was you. Next up, at UFC 316, we have the featured fight of the evening. This is a rebooking. This fight was supposed to happen back at UFC Mexico, but Joe Pyfer drank some water, got diarrhea, and literally said, I pulled out of the fight because I didn't want to shit my pants inside the octagon and be known as the diarrhea guy. So Joe Pyfer blamed all of Mexico for his stomach problem.
And that fucking big retard said, I'm not stupid enough to drink the water, but maybe the boiled water in the fucking rice is what got me sick." Boiled water, Joe? That's what got you sick, Joe? He said, "I'm not stupid enough to drink the water, but maybe the boiled water in the rice is what got me sick."
The funniest part is nobody else on his team got sick. It was just him. So they were all smart enough to avoid certain foods, and he didn't. And the reality is Joe Pyfer is one of the most unlikable guys, but continues to win. This fight has been booked, rebooked, and the odds basically remain the same. We got Kelvin Gastelum, 19-9 in his entire career. He is 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision win over Daniel Rodriguez. He's taking on Joe Pyfer, 13-3 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout win over Marc-Andre Barriault. And obviously the two of these gentlemen were supposed to fight, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago. Kelvin Gastelum, we've talked about this many times before. He might be one of the biggest wastes of talents in the history of this sport. The guy has a chin like a fire hydrant. He's got power in his hands. He has Division I wrestling. He's a very, very good fighter who chooses to smoke weed and eat food instead of actually training for fights. Kelvin Gastelum has been in all-time wars. Kelvin Gastelum shows up and looks amazing. Then he shows up and looks horrendous. Kelvin Gastelum is a very, very good fighter, and he's only 33 years old. This is another like aha type moment. The fact that he's only 33 years old and he has been at this level for this long is astonishing. And while you can question his work ethic, you cannot question his chin. He is coming off of that win over Daniel Rodriguez where he missed weight. And ironically or unironically, the dude was filming a vlog called Missing Weight where he was just swallowing tacos whole without chewing. And then he ultimately did miss weight. He's taking on Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer is an incredibly powerful striker. He's got slick BJJ in that back pocket. We've seen it before. He hits like a truck. He uses pressure. He tries to break people. He's got good, clean takedowns if he wants to shoot. And he's known as a powerful puncher. He's coming off that Turkish touch-up, which is why his hairline looks so spectacular, and that win over Marc-Andre Barriault where that power was on full display. The reality here is that Joe Pyfer should win this fight, right? He should win. If he takes his time, he'll be the faster, cleaner, better striker. But if he thinks he's going to knock out Kelvin Gastelum the exact same way he knocked out Marc-Andre or anybody else that he's knocked out, he's out of his mind. Because Kelvin Gastelum's head is quite literally made out of the same things that they make fire hydrants out of. You cannot knock this guy out. You can beat him. He's been beaten many times before, but you cannot knock him out. If Joe Pyfer comes in here thinking that he's going to get this done in a couple of minutes, he's out of his mind. He lives in Pennsylvania. This fight is in New Jersey. It's basically the same thing. I expect Joe to be ready to go, tip-top shape. I do think he wins this fight, and I'm just hoping he's not expecting a quick finish here. So Joe Pyfer's the pick. I'm going to take a leak, and Jacob's going to tell you what he thinks.
You better hurry. It's going to be quick. I will never pick or bet Joe Pyfer. He is an insecure meathead who fucking was complaining about people being mean to him after he was an arrogant asshole before the Jack Hermanson fight, then got smoked and was complaining about people being mean to him. He disrespected my brothers and sisters, mi amigos and mi hermanos of Mexico, and I will never stand for it. I will never pick, I will never bet Joe fucking Pyfer in my life. I'm picking Kelvin Gastelum. Back to you, Angelo. Back to you, Angelo. Go. Angelo. I bet that motherfucker's jerking off to Joe Pyfer. I guarantee that motherfucker's in there fucking listening to me, looking at that picture of Joe Pyfer jerking off. Look at him. Piece of shit. And somebody said, by the way, somebody said Mexico doesn't claim Jacob. Mexicans fucking love me. Tengo gato los pantalones.
Okay. Also, the lightning is going.
Oh my
wild.
God, Macy Barber's in here. What's going on, Macy?
Dude, I saw this before as a regular comment. I'm pretty sure this is that's what she said while having a seizure. Wild.
Yeah, it's pretty
Very
crazy.
well.
Earlier, you were like, it's not something to laugh about. And here you are giggling away.
I'm laughing at the comment, not what actually happened in real life. But let's get back to the fights. I imagine you picked Joe and you bet on Joe.
Yeah, my fucking asshole. Fuck that dude.
Well, and he would get inside of it if he wanted to, because there's nothing Jacob could do about it.
Yeah, the reality is, I mean, that literally is like the insecure tough guy thing. I'll beat your ass, though. Oh, you want to fight then?
He is wildly unlikable. The reality is he should win this fight.
Dude,
and
he said he was on Ariel, and I sent it to Angelo. I talked about it on Twitter, but this guy's like, it doesn't seem like Kelvin's been like disrespectful in this camp, so I've been respectful of Kelvin in this camp as well. And then he's talking about like, but the UFC, it feels like it's been they gave me a layup for this fight, and honestly, I can't wait to fight him because I'm tired of picturing his fat ass fucking face in my head every day. It's like, what the fuck? You're talking about being respectful of this guy, this fat ass fucking face, and it's a layup of a fight for me, and I'll probably finish him.
Listen, he's wildly unlikable. He's attacked you as well previously. You said it was years ago. You picked against Sean Brady, and then didn't.
I think it was like last year, the year before. I don't even know what he said, but he put me in his story, and then he deleted it. I didn't even see what it was.
Well, it wasn't favorable. I can guarantee that. The reality is, though, I do think he wins this fight. He should. If he doesn't win this fight, and he can't win this fight, then Joe Pyfer is not who he thinks he is. He's not who Dana White wants him to be, and he shouldn't be competing at this level. Obviously, he can be competing in the UFC. He's proven that. But he shouldn't be competing against anybody anywhere near a ranking the top of the division. He should be able to get this done. I'm on that side. I've got these prices reversed. Kelvin Gastelum is $7,000 in DraftKings Fantasy.
I bet I can throw a football farther than that dude. I bet I can do anything else besides punch somebody better than that dude.
Let's see, how tall is he? Well, you didn't have to get your... I mean, you both have red hair and red beards, and yours is just God-given. You didn't have to move the hair from the back to the front.
Yeah, I'm not that insecure, huh?
as much as listen, my hairline's not great. It's not awful. It's not great. I wouldn't, if I could take a pill and it just magically is amazing, sure. But I'm not flying to the other side of the world to get fucking surgery. I am who I am. You'll love me for my personality. They're not all blessed like that. $9,200 in DraftKings Fantasy. I don't know if Joe is worth it because he's going to need to finish Kelvin to be worth it. And I don't know if Kelvin is finishable on the feet. At some point, he will be. We've seen them all get hit and get knocked out at some point in time. I just don't know if that's now. Joe Pyfer's my pick. Jacob has not picked that direction for very different reasons. If you do want to unlock every pick betting tool, WeWantPicks.com. $2 super chat from Omar. Happy birthday, Big Ange. I appreciate you, Omar. $1.99 from Next Lennon. What? Don't become premium. You'll win way too much money. Spelled too wrong, but Lennon, I appreciate you, my man. And then obviously we had the Macy Barber seizure super chat. Next up at UFC 316, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Juliana Pena defending her belt for the first time, the second time, taking on Kayla Harrison. Juliana Pena is 11-5 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that win over Rocky Pennington to win the bantamweight belt back. She's taking on Kayla Harrison, 18-1 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She is stepping into her first ever UFC title shot. Juliana Pena is somebody we're all very familiar with, very similar to Joe Pyfer in that she's not likable. She says some wild shit on the microphone, a little bit delusional, has a different vision of herself than everybody else does. But
and we've met Kayla.
Kayla could not be a nicer human being.
What a
literally.
sweetheart.
Literally the nicest person. And we didn't meet her like when she wasn't famous. Like we met her at UFC 303 when she was already a big deal. 2-time Olympic. I'll start on her side. Fuck it. Kayla Harrison, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. You know how hard it is to win 2 gold medals? You can win one and you want to call it a fluke. It could be a fluke, whatever. But then you have to do the exact same thing 4 years later. 4 years later. You have to do the exact same thing.
Flip a slide real quick.
You know. What?
I didn't switch. Oh, there it goes. Okay. That makes sense to me.
What? The age?
No, she's what, 5'8"? I would say that I'm at least 3 inches taller than her right here.
Honestly, that's a great picture for you. That's not 3 inches. That's a great picture for you.
And she's and she's in heels too, and I'm fucking still 3 inches.
Did I get the heights wrong? Are these reversed? Damn. Good for you. See? Look at you. Kayla Harrison's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. 2-time. She is the most accomplished American judoka of all time. That includes men and women. Kayla Harrison can toss anybody on their ass from any position whenever she wants to. If you want to think of the greatest female fighters of all time, you could think of Ronda Rousey and then know that Ronda Rousey had a silver medal. Sorry, not even. A bronze medal, and Kayla Harrison had 2 golds. She's been an American top team for a few years now, so we can expect the improvements. We can expect the hands getting better. We can expect her to be able to do what she needs to do outside of just judo. Kayla Harrison has fought at an incredibly high level for a very, very long time. She's coming off that win over Ketlin Vieira, where despite it being a pretty straightforward win, it actually was kind of clear that she needed to clean a few things up. Well, that's not a great angle. Pull up the picture of you and Tiffany where she's the exact same height as you. I have it. She's taking on Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena is a 2-time world champion. And the way that they do that, when they say 2-time, you don't become a world champion every time you defend it. So if you win the belt once and then you defend it 5 times, you're not a 6-time world champion. You're not a 5-time world champion. You're just a world champion. To become a 2-time world champion means you lost your belt and then you won it back. And that's exactly what Juliana Pena is, because she came out there, she beat Amanda Nunes to become the world champion. She had the Homer Simpson method. She got the shit kicked out of her, weathered a storm, didn't quit, didn't stop because she's insanely tough, moved forward and ended up winning that fight and beat a very unprepared Amanda Nunes. In the rematch, Amanda came out very prepared and beat the shit out of Juliana Pena. Beat her worse than we've ever seen anybody get beat in maybe the last 15 years. The reality is that Juliana Pena is not great at anything. What she is, though, is insanely tough. She'll move forward. She'll throw as many punches as possible. She'll shoot takedowns. She'll grapple. She'll do all the things. She is well-rounded. She is a very accomplished fighter at this point, but she's not amazing at any one thing outside of her raw toughness. I'm going to pick Kayla Harrison. That's not a shocking pick. The reality is she's an 8-1 favorite. She is minus 800. You would have to bet $800 to win 100. Anybody picking Juliana Pena is not doing so off of their skill set. Nobody is going to sit here and say Juliana Pena is better at striking. Juliana Pena is better. Nobody is going to pick Juliana Pena saying what she's good at. They're just going to pick Juliana Pena by saying how tough she is and shitting on Kayla's cardio. The reality is Kayla has fought 25 minutes before. She's fought 15 minutes before. To assume her cardio is just going to give out on her, she's going to get absolutely smoked. It's a wild assumption. I'm picking Kayla Harrison. Jacob, who do you think wins this fight?
Kayla, obviously, I mean, she's minus 600, minus 700, minus 8, whatever it's going to turn into. She is the better fighter. She's an Olympic world champion. She's a champion. She blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows Kayla's a better fighter. I told you guys, and it didn't work out this way, but I told you guys that the shit with Bilal was not going to fucking work because there's a difference in mentality of fighting somebody that is willing to accept positions and do all that bullshit, and somebody that is willing to fight in every single position in every single moment of every single fight. I thought Bilal was going to come in, shoot a million takedowns. JDM was going to make him work really, really hard, and then he was going to gas, and JDM was going to get a finish. Not how it worked out. Bilal did a lot more striking. Honestly, I think it was not a bad game plan from Bilal. It was probably closer that way. But Juliana Pena is one of those JDM mentalities. Obviously not as talented. I'm not saying that. But the same type of, I'm not going to fucking stop. I'm not going to fucking stop. You're not going to fucking finish me. You might fucking work me for 2 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever it's going to be. But I'm never going to fucking stop. And I was the biggest Juliana Pena hater in the fucking world. I loaded up on Rocky. I said she had no shot to beat a girl like Rocky. I watched that fight and I said, oh my God, Rocky won this fight. I still think that Rocky won that fight. Juliana Pena, in my opinion, is not the champion. But what Rocky has that Kayla doesn't have is Rocky is just a methodical. She can go 5 rounds. She can do her shit for 5 rounds, defend. She was getting takedown a little bit more than I thought, but defend some takedowns, be able to strike, and isn't really a all-in, powerful, whatever. 5 rounds is no big deal. Kayla Harrison has never made 135 in her fucking life, not on the fucking dot. She's never fought 5 rounds at 135, not even close. Those 5-round fights are at 155. I watched the fight for whatever reason back when I was like randomly watching PFL, which I never fucking do that again. But I watched that fight with Aspen Ladd. I'm seeing Aspen Ladd on the back of Kayla Harrison in this fight, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? As a minus 1,000 favorite, she lost a 5-round decision at 155 before. I'm watching this girl, Juliana.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm watching this girl, Juliana. She's not going to fucking stop. So, yeah, Kayla's probably going to get her down to the first round. She's probably going to get her down in the second round. But when those takedowns don't work any longer because you have to close the distance or the scrambles and you can't hold, because you're not just going to lay on Juliana Pena. You're not just going to land elbows, because when you're trying to land elbows, that's when people escape. When you're trying to find these submissions, you're not going to submit a girl like Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena is going to make her work. She's going to make her work. She's going to make her work. That weight cut is going to wear on her. I believe in my heart of hearts that Kayla Harrison has 7.5, 8, maybe 9 minutes to get this girl the fuck out of there. And if she does, then good for her, and she's worth the minus 600 price tag, and she is who we thought she was. But this feels like a fucking terrible fucking matchup for Kayla Harrison, because Juliana Pena is not going to just fucking lay there. She is a fucking dog. She is going to keep working and keep working and keep Kayla working and keep Kayla working. And when those takedowns stop working, when the judo throws get a little bit tired and they start getting a little bit slippery, there there is no fucking backup plan for Kayla Harrison. Juliana Pena with her bullshit DDP blitzing striking is going to be in her face. And if she ever gets on top of Kayla Harrison, which I believe will happen after the second round of this fight, Kayla Harrison will be in biggest trouble as fucking Amanda Nunes found herself. And if you look at the people that Juliana Pena has lost to, these are the elite of the elite people. And I know she got the fuck beat out of her by Amanda Nunes. There's no question about that. Kayla Harrison is not fucking Amanda Nunes. She doesn't have those striking. She doesn't have the experience. She doesn't have anything of that right in MMA at 135 in 5 rounds. Juliana Pena is going to make her work in the first round, make her work in the second round, take over this fight. She is going to beat and finish Kayla Harrison.
I laughed because when you said Kayla Harrison is not fucking Amanda Nunes, I want to be like, no, Nina Ansaroff is. Come on, that's good stuff. Pride Month, that's good stuff. That's good material.
Amanda Nunes is a homosexual.
Listen, Juliana Pena did lose her last fight. You agree with that statement, correct?
Absolutely. Oh my God. Angelo's internet went out. It's storming here right now. Can you hear me or can you hear him? Who can you hear right now? Angelo's internet, I believe, went out. And honestly, I can't even end this stream if it never comes out. God has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. Angelo, a day before his birthday, is gone. Oh my God. I made fun of him for not going to his storm shelters. And now he has left us. And I'll be honest with you guys right now. I literally, on my end,
I'm here. I'm back, baby.
I was going to say, I can't stop the stream where I'll just have to sit here all night. I can't stop the stream on my end. So I don't know what the fuck was about to happen there.
No, freaking.
Well, your audio's all fucked up. You're not back. I'll tell you that.
All right, hold on.
I'm back. Sorry. Storms are flying through. Lost power.
How do you not have a battery? You told me to get the battery back. I have a battery backup, so if it goes off,
the UPS that I had failed, and it was just beeping incessantly nonstop. So now I just have a surge protector.
Jesus Christ. You would think you'd be more professional. Sorry, guys. I mean, I have on my router and on my setup here, I have battery backup, so if it flickers, I'm still here. And thank God that I am. Thank God I'm that professional and care that much.
So listen.
Oh, my God. Imagine if we have a situation here where this is like a BJ Penn where I start freaking out because you were taken and they've implanted an imposter. This is not the real Angelo. Yes or no in the chat, is this a real Angelo?
You feel Juliana Pena lost her last fight, correct? We both feel that way.
Sure. I don't know what wild comparison you're about to make here.
No,
she lost to Rocky.
Karma's coming. Karma's coming for her.
Oh, yeah, just like karma almost came for your dumbass.
Oh, I don't know what that means. Listen, we are on opposite sides, but I don't actually think we're on opposite sides. I feel like this is I have no go against the grain.
No, what? I literally have no. I placed a bet on Juliana Pena a month ago. The second I thought about this fight, I'm like, fucking hell yeah, this is a terrible matchup for Kayla Harrison.
This is
a horrible matchup for Kayla Harrison.
This is exactly what I just mentioned, where it's not about Juliana Pena's skills. You're not talking about she's good at this, she's good at that. You're just talking about she's done.
How many times have we watched, especially, and I'm talking about general MMA, but especially in women's MMA, when somebody is just fucking more willing to fucking fight. And I'm not saying Kayla isn't willing to fight, because she's an Olympian and she's
I was going to say, you don't become
an, But when you start failing cardio-wise, and I've seen her slow down in fights before, I've seen this girl fucking Aspen Ladd on this girl's fucking back where she's like, can't fucking done, and she's improved. At ATT, she's still learning the MMA game. She's still improving. But that's a lot of fucking weight to cut. She's never made 135, and she's never fought 135 for 5 rounds. And Juliana Pena has said 135 on the dot for 25 minutes. She understands that I just have to keep working, and I love that from her. Just keep fucking working the entire time. Just keep fucking working, and eventually she will fail, and Juliana Pena is going to win this fight.
It's going to be an interesting fight. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not going to like dismiss it and say it's bullshit. I understand where you're coming from, but it's nobody picking Pena is giving Pena the upper hand because of her actual fighting skills. It is entirely because she can take a beating. And I just can't go on that side.
I mean, we literally have already seen it once. That's what she has won like that before. It's not like we're like, I don't know, maybe she can. It's like she literally beat the greatest female athlete of all time doing that.
Correct. And in that, to counter that point, that was Amanda Nunes defending her belt for the 500th time. Didn't give a fuck, phoning it in, trying to have a kid. Didn't matter. Where this is a hungry Kayla Harrison, knowing that this win
hungry
changes
at
her
135 pounds. You're right. Amanda Nunes has been there, done that, and you've never seen Kayla do it 135 pounds for 25 minutes.
Well, this will be. I am actually very interested in this fight, and if you do want to check out all the bets that we have, Jacob and I do have some conflicting bets on this fight. But if you want to check them all out, if you need a tiebreaker, you want to see what the artificial intelligence thinks, what BetSam thinks, what Artem thinks, you can unlock all of it right now at WeWantPicks.com. Just click become a member. It's freaking $10 for an entire month, and that month gets you all the way to UFC 317. Couple of super chats. $4.99 from Alex, New York City. The man.
Fuck the
Jacob.
Knicks.
He called you the man. And who says he's a Knicks fan?
I think we went through this last week, actually. I think he donated last week, and I said that, and I think I was wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Alex. He sent another super chat. $1.99. Put that pic of Lady Angelo so he can fight Kayla. There is
titties for it.
Okay. Well, that was incredibly rude. Thank you for that super chat. Tom in Colorado said,
oh my God, it happened again. This dumb bitch. Hey, Tom in Colorado says, Kayla versus Angelo, wrestling match for charity. He would have said like this. Listen, Tom, I respect Kayla and her judo accolades, but, I'm 295, 320 pounds, and I'm a wrestler. So, judo and wrestling is a little bit different. So while she is an Olympic judoka, I am pure, unadulterated muscle, corded steel. And I would take her down. And I would flip her around. And I would push her face into the pillow.
it's getting fucking crazy, dude. Getting fucking crazy. The worst part about this, you can hear me, I'm assuming.
I don't know if he's coming back.
7 days in a fucking week, and it just has to storm exactly as we're live. 3 hours. 3 hours in a whole fucking week. That's when it has to happen.
Mickey Mouse Wi-Fi.
What an absolute... No, the Wi-Fi's fine. That's how it pops up. It's because I don't have a UPS on the fucking... Where am I? Back up. Right here. All right. You and I are split on this. Somebody said...
You didn't talk to Tom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody said Kayla versus Angelo in a wrestling match. Listen, I'm much physically larger, but Olympian is Olympian. And she wasn't an Olympic wrestler, which actually, could be somewhat favorable. But the reality is, if you look at a globe, an Olympic gold medalist means every single person on that planet, she was better than them at that one thing. She's fucking big and strong. Outside of a fight camp, Kayla Harrison probably weighs 170. I don't think I could beat Kayla Harrison in a wrestling match. I don't think I could. Whoop. Next up at UFC 316, we have the main event of the evening. We have Merab Dvalishvili taking on Sean Sideshow Bob O'Malley. Merab Dvalishvili 19-4 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5, and that's because he is on a 12-fight win streak. He's taking on Sean O'Malley, 18-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that title loss to Merab back at Noche UFC. He hasn't fought since then. We all know who Merab is, nonstop chain wrestler. The striking is okay, but the cardio is absolutely insane. He has weaponized his cardio so much that he could just be good at everything and win not only the world championship, but be one of the best fighters to walk planet Earth. He averages an insane almost 6 takedowns per 15 minutes. His last loss was all the way back to 2018. The gas tank is insane. The willingness to stick to a game plan is insane. This guy moves forward at all costs, gets in your face, shoots takedowns over and over and over and over. If you lose the first round, doesn't matter. Lose the second round, doesn't matter. This guy continues to run forward and work his ass off. He's taking on Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is a good striker. He's got very real power, great accuracy. He's very athletic. He does whatever he wants to do in the striking. He is way more athletic than you would give him credit for, and we know he can be a dog. While we didn't see it in the last fight or in their first fight, we did see it when he fought Petr Yan. That was an absolute back-and-forth dogfight, and Sean O'Malley, while I don't think he won that fight, at least showed us he is capable of going strike for strike and dogging out a win. This is a rematch. We all saw the first fight. And the thing that I said in the Quick Picks video is that I feel like there's a little bit of the Mandela effect going on in their first fight. I feel like a lot of people, as time has passed, about 7-8 months now, have convinced themselves that that first fight was super close. And Sean was, he was right. The reality is there's not a single person on this planet that was waiting for the decision because they thought it could go to Sean O'Malley. It was a very clear one-sided decision for Merab. Sean's own corner was telling him, we're almost done here. That's how bad he was losing. There is a true Mandela effect here where people have convinced themselves that that first fight was close. Yeah, maybe he had some moments of success. It was a 25-minute fight. Of course there was some success. And now if I zoom out, and you say, you know what, Ange? You're right. It wasn't that close, but Sean had hip issues. He was going to pull out of the fight. He chose not to. He just talked about that. He said, I wasn't going to fight Merab. I was going to pull out. And then the UFC called me and said, you're fighting at Noche. You're in the sphere. You got the sphere. He couldn't pull out, so he didn't. And he ended up losing that fight. And maybe, you know what, with a 100% intact hip and no issues, no surgery needed, the lateral movement is enough. And he stays out of harm's way. He doesn't get taken down. He lands the strikes he's supposed to land. Maybe. And if you're picking Sean O'Malley, then that's obviously the mindset that you're in. And I can't fault you for that. That is entirely possible. But in my mind, Merab won that first fight very clearly. I think he wins the second fight even more clearly. I think Sean O'Malley got frozen by the idea of somebody coming at him non-stop. He has completely changed his life. He doesn't smoke anymore. He's not drinking. He's hanging out with his family more. None of the bullshit, no social media. His dad is going to be in his corner. I don't necessarily think those are all good things. You kind of got to stick with what got you there. I'm picking Merab. He's a minus 265 favorite. The odds have tightened, but just a tiny bit. I think this fight is even more clear than the first one. Merab's going to be the pick. That's it. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, that fight, the Umar fight, obviously that wasn't a domination. It was a close fight. The Sean fight, that was not a domination by any means. Sean clearly won 2 rounds. Merab landed 6 takedowns in 5 rounds, 6 of 15. That's 40%, and that's against a Sean that didn't seem like he was all there. Didn't seem like he had the pop in the shots. Was definitely kind of worried about the takedowns, but did a pretty decent job. You're going to see 10 minutes of control from Merab. Hats off to that. That was basically, I think, 7.5, 8 minutes of that was in 2 of the rounds. So you're looking at 2 clear rounds from Merab, 2 clear rounds for Sean. Comes down in the first round, and in my opinion, that's a close fight because that first round is a close round. Sean was landing the strikes. Merab didn't even land a strike until close to the end. Got a couple takedowns, but didn't do anything with them. So you're looking at damage. You're looking at striking. It seemed like Sean won that first round. He won the first round. He wins the third round. He wins the 5th round. That seems like it's a Sean fight. So if you're sitting here telling me it's not a close fight, if you're looking at the fight round by round, that's how they judge fights. That's a close fight because Sean won 2 rounds. There was only one person in that fight that almost finished the fight. That was Sean O'Malley. 5th round, there was one person that was almost finished that fight. That was Sean O'Malley. That was the worst Sean O'Malley I think I've ever seen. Yet I'm sitting here reflecting on the fight, and he won the 5th round. Almost found a finish. He won the 3rd round on 2 of the judges' scorecards. The first round is a very close round where he was winning all his striking exchanges to start the round. In a world where they rematch, I have to imagine that if Merab brings in that same game plan And it almost seems as if the way he's talking that he's caught up in this Bilal mindset. Merab loves this attention. He's everywhere. You look at anything, anywhere. Merab loves this shit. He's a very confident guy. What do they say about confidence? What did Vikram say about confidence? Right? The liquor of the fool. Right?
Oh.
The food, the liquor of the fool. Sometimes you can be in over your head. Now he's starting to talk about, I'm going to knock out Sean O'Malley. We've seen Merab get dropped and dropped and dropped. He's a tough dude, right? Is Merab the most talented fighter in the world? Absolutely not. Is he a hard fucking worker? Is he outworked every single person to the title? Absolutely. Is he the same Merab now that he was in those fights? Nope. He doesn't fight the same. He fights cocky. He fights confident. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's winning him fights. That is swaying the judges in his opinion. I'm not saying that he's not winning these fights because he probably did win against Sean. He probably did win against Umar. But that's not the same Merab. And if Merab doesn't come in with the old Merab style where he's shooting 20, 30, 40 takedowns and trying to bury a guy like Sean O'Malley and tries that same type of game plan, Sean's going to be a little bit more ready this time. He's going to understand, okay, I understand the game plan. Because Merab had a great game plan last time. Sean was ready. I promise you, Sean was training the entire time for all the pressure, all the blitzing. He's going to push me against the fence. I guarantee 95% of their training was training take down the fence along the fence. And all of a sudden, we get in that fight. And Merab's just dancing around behind the black line, inviting Sean to him. And Sean, you could tell, was like, what is going on here? I thought he was going to bring the pressure. What do I do? Do I stand my ground? Do I walk into it? And eventually he started walking into the shots because then Merab was able to level change with an open, wide canvas. And instead of trying to, Sean defending takedowns on the fence, now there was no fence for Sean to take down. So hats off to Merab in that game plan. But you can't, it's just like an NBA playoff series. Every single game is separate. Every single game is so much different than the game before. You cannot copy and paste. Every time people rematch, it's pretty much almost very, very different. And if he does not come in with a 20, 30, 40 takedown attempt and just try to bury Sean O'Malley, he's going to get fucking caught. Sean O'Malley was my lock of the week against Merab previously. I would be a fucking pussy-ass bitch if I flipped on it now because that was the worst Sean O'Malley I've ever seen, and he arguably almost stole that fucking fight by winning the first round, which would have won him the fight. Very close first round. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility of Sean O'Malley winning this decision. Stick and move. Merab's a tough guy, right? I got to go Sean O'Malley here because he was fucking absolutely terrible. Won 2 rounds clearly, almost found a finish, and the first round was very, very close. And Merab is, I think, the cockiness and overconfidence is going to be his downfall. He hasn't been dominating people the way he's been dominating people in the past, and even then he was just kind of unnecessarily shooting just over and over. Sean O'Malley's going to win this fight.
Do you you believe the hip injury and all that bullshit, or you don't care? It doesn't even matter.
I've never even thought about that once.
Okay, and that was a genuine question because I do see a lot of people being like, Sean's gonna win this one. He's healthy now. Where you didn't mention that at all. That's why
I didn't mention all the lights and this and that and whatever. And
what was the light thing? I saw the comments. What is that?
They weren't allowed to go. They never saw the Noche arena or anything before they made the walk, and it's like it just was way more different than they thought that was going to be or something.
Well, that's for both fucking fighters. That's not just for one.
Well, it's different when you're a striker.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna argue because I picked Sean O'Malley in the first fight. I'm not positive. I'm almost positive, though. I thought I picked him in the first fight, and I said it's going to be kind of like the Aljo fight. Merab is a little chinny. We saw him get dropped against Cejudo. We saw Marlon Moraes almost. The fact that Marlon Moraes didn't finish Merab was a miracle. So I'm pretty sure I picked Sean O'Malley in the first fight. But once I saw it, and Sean seemed frozen by the moment, I feel like we might get more of the same. And I don't think he's frozen by the moment of the popularity and the fame and all that. That's not freezing him. I think the idea in his head that somebody is going to shoot on me 1,000,000 times over, and there's all of this pressure and the cardio. Is my cardio there? Am I ready? Am I not? I feel like that might freeze him in the moment. Jacob's obviously on the other side. This is This is a pretty good fight. I
He was just. I mean, Merab typically shoots a million takedowns, and
Yeah.
he was waiting around for the takedowns that never came, and then he was just kind of playing
Sure.
catch up, and he still won 2 of the last 3 rounds and almost found a finish. So
where I agree with you is he definitely had Merab in some trouble, and there was no trouble on the other side. And Merab's not dangerous at all. Merab wins this fight by a decision, or Sean can win multiple different ways. I agree with all of those statements. I just think the nonstop Merab pressure, Merab's ability
but
to
he's not doing that anymore.
He did it against Umar.
No, he didn't.
The last 3 rounds, that's exactly what he did.
No, he didn't. No,
he lost
didn't.
the first 2 rounds because he just was not the better
He hasn't
fighter.
been nonstop Merab in a while. Not since the Aldo fight, probably.
Well, Merab is a guy that has overcome adversity several times over. In that Umar fight, he showed us he had this like insane staph infection or some disgusting shit going on with his shit. In this fight, he probably has a pinky toe thing. Do you care about the pinky toe thing at all?
I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. And you're on the other side.
I respect Merab too, because I've said it in my video as well. It's much easier to just be talented and work kind of hard and become something. But Merab is not. There's not an ounce of talent
He's not
in
fast.
Merab.
He doesn't hit hard.
He has just fucking outworked everyone to be a champion and defended his belt as well against some really high level people. So it's always hats off to Merab. I'm not being disrespectful for Merab, but. You know.
Sean's the better athlete. 100 out of 100 times, Sean is the better athlete. That dude, what's funny is Sean is also not very physically imposing, but he's fast, he's clean, he's accurate. This is actually a good rematch, and this is a fight that I'm coming around to because at first I was like, I don't think Sean O'Malley has done enough. Like, that first fight wasn't very close. He doesn't have a win since then. Like, they're only running this back because there's nobody else. But the closer we get to this fight, I'm like, you know what? I will watch this again. This isn't an interesting fight, to say the least. Sean was the world champion. He did almost finish Merab. I don't think those scorecards should have been very close, but he did have some success there. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's a very good fight. I'm on the Merab side. Jacob's on the Sean O'Malley side.
Jimmy the Genie 999 says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. There is nobody in the world that will flip on their own picks more than me, and I've made
does that shit all
thousands and thousands of dollars of being on somebody wholeheartedly and then flipping against them and betting them because of the matchup. So this is, I just don't think this is one of those situations. I like Sean in this one.
Yeah, and I appreciate you very much, Jimmy, for the $10 super chat. I am on the Merab side. Jacob's on the Sean O'Malley side. If you need a tiebreaker, we have a few of them. We have Bet Sam giving you his picks and bets. We have Artem giving you his picks and bets. And then we have an artificial intelligence, a robot, picking fights based solely off of historical information. You can check all that out right now at WeWantPicks.com. Once you become a premium member, make sure you have the app installed, because once you have the app installed, you will get push notifications. You don't need the app. You can access everything that we offer through any mobile browser you can think of, on a desktop, on a phone, on a tablet. It all works. It all adjusts. It all does what it's supposed to do. But if you have an iPhone and you want to download the app, you can. Just search We Want Picks. It is entirely 100% free. We also have several tools. People like to focus on the picks and the bets and talk about the safety parlay being the beacon of stability, but we do have tools as well that will help you find your own picks and bets. One of those tools is the Fight Simulator. We have another tool called the Tape Index. It indexes fights for you. You find a fighter, you see their full fight history, you click a little red play button, the fight pops up. We have a DraftKings optimizer that will build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you. We have a data analyzer that has every imaginable data point for every single fighter from every single fight they've had. And then you can stack that data. You can create filters, and you can tell whatever story you need to tell. Then go to your favorite sports book and place your bets. We have a line movement tracker that gives you opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every fighter and every card. We have a prop hunter, which is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. And then we have a lot of other people doing this, not just Jacob and I. $10 super chat from Ripside2. Merab by WrestlePluck. That's supposed to say WrestleFuck, and I imagine YouTube didn't let him say WrestleFuck. So I appreciate you for the $10 super chat, and I am on that side. Jacob, any words for the people before we shut this down so I could take the longest piss I've ever taken in my life?
Yeah, like the stream if you haven't already on your way out. Make sure you leave a comment wishing Angelo happy birthday. If you're watching this tomorrow, Wednesday, it is his birthday. And if you're watching this Thursday, Friday, or early Saturday, don't wish him happy birthday because it's already
it's too late.
So,
yeah, fuck it.
But that's all. And I'm probably going to live stream Saturday because Angelo doesn't like to hang out with his friends anymore. So I'm going to probably live stream Saturday.
I would love nothing more than to be home hanging out with my friends.
Thursday night, game 1. Pacers taking game 1's Pacers in 5. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Shut it down.
All right. Goodbye. Thanks, everybody.